You're going to need a bigger boat.
But you don't, my friends. Welcome to the Professionals, the rotating show that goes between all the Bros channels. Tonight it falls on my shoulders, and it's summertime. And what is more appropriate for summer than blockbuster movies and shark movies? And this is the one that started it all. Jaws in 1975.
You yell Barracuda. Everybody says, huh? What? You yell shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
One of the most quoted films ever. But we're going to be talking about shark movies, our favorite shark movies, favorite blockbusters of the summer. Whoa. Let's get rid of that. Oh, that was a voice I never want to hear again. All right, let's bring in the Bros. We're short a couple right now. Billy's going to be a little bit late. We're not sure where Art is. But the rest of the crew is here. First off, we got Andy Smith. Hello, Andrew.
Hello.
Good to see you, brother.
You too.
Uh-oh. Let's see. I just got a message from Billy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Billy won't be making it. His son got into a fender bender, and
Oh shit.
he's got to deal with it. He's fine, but the car got banged
good.
up a little bit. So Billy will not be here. But
All right.
Aaron will be, because Aaron is here.
You know, I'm now everything in life pisses me off. But you just played that clip with the mayor, and I was going to come in with that line, and you ruined it for me. The whole you yell Barracuda. Everybody says, "Huh? What?" But I will
Well,
say
don't
this.
worry. There's plenty of other quotes.
I will say this about that scene. That's one of the best scenes in the movie because it's one take, and Spielberg moves those guys into long shot, mid ground, and then close up, all with mise en scène movement in front of the camera. So masterfully done.
It is
Oh, that's
wonderful.
cool.
I love that. I love the quote, and I love that actor too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Murray.
Oh
Hamilton.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Hey.
Billy, we're going to need a bigger bro.
We're gonna need a big
We're gonna need a bigger bro.
That was an improvised line, by the way, too, in that movie.
Oh,
Was it?
my favorite.
Mhm.
That's my favorite. You know what's weird is Sugarland Express was playing on the TV at dinner time tonight.
Really, it's Spielberg's
Oh, yeah.
first theatrical release. Right there.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. It's weird. I didn't
Although-
realize.
Hey, Aaron, I have a question.
Yeah.
Great White Aaron, just come out and why don't you just type out Grand Poobah or something like that?
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
What are you doing to our show? We're trying to
I don't
keep
know.
it classy, and
no,
here
I'm
comes the
referring-
Great White Aaron.
No, I'm referring to the shark, Andy. The shark.
Okay.
Oh,
Here comes the shark.
There he is.
Yeah, there you go.
He's great, and he's white. It's art to bear. There he is.
Hell yeah. What's up, party people?
What's up?
Are you ready for a summer blockbuster?
I'm always ready for a summer blockbuster.
Are you ready to get your guts kicked in?
Those old.
You ready for a summer ball buster?
Those
I
old
got the
memories
list of the biggest blockbusters of the summer by year. So
when's
we'll
it
do a
start?
little,
What's
we'll do a
the
little
first
trivia
year?
and let you guys guess at which what ones.
What's the first year?
Jaws, 1975.
Oh, that's where it starts.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's the first.
Oh, okay.
That's the first movie considered a summer blockbuster.
I know where.
What was
okay.
that? 78?
75.
75.
Oh, Jaws was 75. Really?
Yeah.
Did
And
not know that.
it ends with Deadpool and Wolverine.
My mom.
As of
wouldn't let
right
me go
now.
my mom wouldn't let me go see Jaws because I was only 11 years old, and everybody in the neighborhood saw it except me, and everybody was talking about it, and I was so pissed. See, I started angry at a very young age. That's
I was
probably
too.
that's why it probably became my favorite movie, is because I was denied seeing it when it came out.
I was
See,
still
that's
shitting my
odd.
pants.
I did see it at 5 years old in the movie theater, and I ran out of the theater crying.
You know, that's
My mom
that
had to
sounds
come
about
get
right for you, pal.
Yeah.
I was 13, so I could see it.
Well,
Did you guys stay out of the water for a while, or did you get a little spooked when you went into the?
Well,
I
into
still
the
don't
water?
go in the
Dan,
water.
I went with my buddy and we went to go see it, and I lived on the beach. So the next day, we're in the ocean swimming around and stuff, and we're talking about the movie. I remember that scene where blah, 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 and I stepped on a skate, which is like in the Ray family.
Yeah.
And it has like a chemically electric charge.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I stepped on this skate as I'm talking about this shark, and it slid out from under me, and I lost my shit. I just jumped up, and I was like, high stepping it out of the water.
I was gonna say, like, I always went to the beach, all that stuff. I was more afraid of, like jellyfish and things like that than I was of any sharks.
Yeah, tell that to all those people that just got attacked in the bay there in Texas. And
did you know
Really?
there's when you
like 3 or 4 of them.
when you barbecue at home and you prepare it in like a juice, it's called a marinade. But when you do it out on the ocean side, it's called beaching. So you beach your meat out on the out on the no.
Oh my gosh!
No, I was just
comedy
you
night or
tightening
something.
the news.
Amateur hour.
Yeah. Well, where's Billy when you
Here's
need
the
him?
problem. Here's the problem with that, Dan.
Yes.
Did you see the Barbie movie? Because in
I've
the
not.
commercial for that, Ken was saying to the other Kens that they were going to have a beach off.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. I'll beat you off.
Well, do you remember that
oh,
famous?
you want to have a
Archie
beach
cover?
off? Oh, I'll have a beach off right now. All right, let's have a beach off.
Well, don't you remember that Archie cover from I think it's from the '60s, where he's carrying I don't know Betty or Veronica, and he says, "I had to beat off 2 other guys to get you."
Yeah.
You spoke that in one of these episodes.
That's actually a highly sought cover.
Well,
I
same
bet.
with that Superman one.
Which one? Slap a
You know the
Jack?
one I'm talking about? Slap a Jap? Isn't that the?
Yeah.
Is that Action or
58.
Superman?
Action Comics 58. You know what's funny is first person whoever I'd heard it brought up by was EVS, and
And he wants
have it. Oh, I know he does, and I have it on my eBay watch list, and I keep getting emails, but it's never it. So it's elusive. It's the unicorn.
Let me see. Action Comics 58, you say?
I believe that's it. Yeah.
I think if you type in Superman slap a Jap, it'll come up.
Yeah, you don't need the number for that one.
I'm sure a lot of other things come up as well.
People need to realize it's of the times, though. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like so many.
Yeah,
people
language
get
always
uptight.
changes. Like words change meaning over years.
That's right.
Well, it also
I
is in
hear
the context
Aaron's next
of-
Wraith of God cover is going to be a takeoff on that one.
Well, it's going to be a takeoff on this, Graham, if you share this.
Look at that badass Uncle Sam.
There you go.
There you go. Look at that big old ranch Uncle Sam's got.
Yeah,
That's
Oh, yeah.
Montgomery flag. That's
Yep.
so dope.
yeah,
You
that's
can
great.
every once in a while one of these posters shows up on eBay. They're expensive, but they
You know
can
what
be had.
you know what I wonder shows up on eBay is that little jumper he's wearing. Imagine showing up to any event in that shit.
Yeah, you'd be
I'm
really
probably
kicked
wearing
out.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I was at a dinner one time. I don't know if I told you guys this story or not, but oh no, it was a lunch. It was with there was this little Italian place that was right near DC, and Darren Vincenzo used to love to go there, and he knew all the owner and all that kind of stuff because he was, you know, a fellow Goomba, you know, and anyway, we were sitting there. It was me and Chuck Dixon and Scott Peterson and Darren Vincenzo and a couple other guys, writers and artists and stuff like that. And we started talking. Somehow we got to talking about World War II. And, you know, I said, yeah, I mean, we saved a lot of lives when we dropped the bomb on the Japs. And, and Scott Peterson looks at me and he goes, you know, there's not a lot of people that are comfortable with that word these days. I said, well, wait a second. Whoa. You know, you're implying that I said that in some type of a racist way, but I'm referring to the enemies of the United States is what they were at that time. And that's what they were referred as
Right.
they were not talking about the Japanese people. They're talking
Right.
about the warrior class,
Right.
the soldiers. Those were the Japs, the guys that were cutting off the U.S. soldiers' balls, sticking them in their mouth, and tying them to a tree. That's who these guys were. So, I grew up with a lot of World War II vets. I had teachers that were there that fought on Okinawa and Tarawa and Iwo Jima. So I knew these guys personally, and this is how they talked, and it was part of my nomenclature of how I referred to the enemies during the war, because that's how I grew up.
Like
With.
the Krauts, Charlie.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I bet if you said something and said Krauts, I guarantee he wouldn't have said, hey, Graham.
Right.
That is not acceptable.
In my mom's time, she used to refer to black people as color people, and there was never. I mean, she had no hate. It wasn't derogatory. It wasn't anything. It was just a term of the time. But if you say it now, it's they're going to crucify you for using that term. So these terms always change. But I always think like it's the context, it's the meaning behind it. You know what I mean? It's not always, the word itself. It's how it's used or how it's meant, to provoke a certain reaction. So,
right. I've always felt that you have to have intent to be a racist.
Yes.
You can't just say something. You have to have intent behind it.
Yeah.
For something to be considered racist or not. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And that brings us to sharks.
Well, real quick. Hey, real quick, share my screen real fast.
Okay.
There it is. There it is, Dan.
What?
Well, can you blow it up?
Why isn't my alert showing that?
I don't know, Dan.
But I don't have $2,100.
Well, Fragga, let me tell you a little
Ethan
secret.
does, and he's the one that wants it.
Let me
the
tell you
secret.
guys a little secret. If anything is listed on eBay from My Comic Shop, if you go to My Comic Shop, it'll be hundreds of dollars less. They beef up the price to absorb any losses.
Oh, that's
on
true.
eBay.
Yeah.
So go directly to My Comic Shop, and that book is probably like $1,600 or $1,700, which may still be too much for you. But
Andy,
anyway.
you should send this link to Ethan.
Maybe I'll do that.
You should do the act of kindness.
I will. So there you
2.0,
go.
that's pretty good for a 2.0.
Right?
Yeah, for a 2.0, I mean, beggars can't be choosers. Ethan, he'd probably crack it, so it doesn't really matter.
Tear the cover off and put it in his back pocket, and I'd just be screaming.
He'll read it.
That's right. Even at 2.0, it would hurt Aaron.
Yeah. He'll actually read the book, which would be horrible.
Yeah.
Not a lot of those were great reads back then. But hey, nostalgia goes a long way.
Well, that images he's on a printing press, so he's cranking some kind of lever. Is that the thing? And then this big sheet of newspapers coming out with slap a Jap or whatever the propaganda is.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? I couldn't
much.
tell if it was just an ad on the cover that said that.
No, there's something on the news.
No, it's coming off. I'm looking at it. He's rolling the printing press.
He's rolling it off the press.
These posters are rolling off the press, and you can see like the cut line where they're supposed to be cut and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure Warner Brothers or the parent company doesn't want that out there, because it's Superman making the propaganda. It's Superman who's making it.
Well, that's why Warner Brothers put such a high price on that book, so people wouldn't buy it.
Oh, they're selling the book. I see.
I'm just going
That's why they're hard to find. Warner Brothers went out, scooped them all up, and they're like, "Damn it, there's another one out there."
Did you guys ever get to go through the DC library where they kept all the old books and stuff they had?
I got the tour too.
I got in there once. It was pretty cool.
Was
I mean,
Alan Asherman running that?
I don't remember the dude's name, but they had most of the stuff. They had a few copies of like Action Number 1 and things like that weren't bound, but they had like everything else was bound in these big notebooks, right? So I was flipping through looking at what was the Spectre's first appearance? Was it All-Star?
More Fun, wasn't it?
More Fun. There it is, just in there with a hole punched in it. You're just going, oh my gosh.
And those holes were punched when they were brand new.
Yep. Slapped them in there. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
I mean, that's how they printed all those Action Number 1s, as reprints in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, is they were able to take them out and photograph them, from the printed,
Wow.
because they didn't have the artwork.
Right.
The artwork was long gone. So, and the plates were long gone. So they would just reshoot the printed artwork.
Well,
But,
what was a
it's like
scam in the 70s is there were people taking those reprints because they had some that were like actual size reprints, and they would take the guts out and they'd get a real cover from Action #1 that was, just the cover, because a lot of that stuff would be floating around at a relatively cheap price, sticking the guts in it, restapling it, and trying to sell it as a actual Action #1 or Superman #1.
There's
So,
a
yeah,
lot of
be
shady
careful.
stuff like that. Like, for example, the first appearance of Hobgoblin, Amazing Spider-Man 238.
Yep.
Mhm.
The big money maker in that, outside of the first appearance, is that it had this tattoo inside it, Lakeside
Right.
tattoo, and if it doesn't have it, the value drops. But
Hmm.
that same month, Fantastic Four also had a Lakeside tattoo. So a lot of people are going to get those dirt cheap Fantastic Fours, getting the tattoo and popping them into the 238s.
Well,
Ah.
yeah, what the price guy did, though, what Overstreets did, is they finally backed off that and said there's no difference in value if the tattoo's intact or not, because it wasn't bound in the book; it was slipped in.
Oh, it was
Oh,
just
okay.
slipped in.
Yeah,
No,
it was like,
was kind of. It wasn't stapled in, but it had
but
a
it,
front
yeah, it
and
was
a back.
slipped in around the spine, but you could just pull
Yeah.
it right out.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So
That's
they,
like the Mark Jewelers. I can never say that word.
Mark
Variants.
Jewelers.
Right. Variants. Those are more expensive if the ad is in, because those were stapled into the books.
All
Right.
I know is the
It
worst
was
thing that Marvel ever did is they had those collector stamps in the damn
Yes.
books, and I
Clip
cut
it
every
out.
one of those things out, and my collection is worth nothing.
I put those in my Wraith of Gods. I said,
I
"Put
know,
them in
I
collecting,
thought that
get
was
another
cool.
issue."
Yeah, all mine are cut out.
Nothing worse than spending a ton of money on a book like the first appearance of Wolverine and then going and seeing somebody cut the collector stamp
That
out.
would be one of the
Probably art.
Yeah.
Don't ever
Never
buy
do it.
anything that says from the Art to Bear collection.
Yeah, never
man.
do it. Yeah, never do it.
Sharks.
Yeah, should we talk about movies? This is such a professionals, right? I mean,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
even,
I know.
Yeah, what got me going is, I see Marcus Kelleher says here that Will Eisner had to answer questions about Ebony for years and years.
Oh,
you know, and DC has been publishing old Captain Marvel adventures for years, but they never publish any of the ones with Billy Batson's black friend, who was like his valet when he worked at Station Whiz. And it was, again, he was just like Ebony in that, he had the big white lips and, the kind of step and fetch it type of voice, just completely racist shit. But they never reprint any of those.
Oh, wasn't that in a collection that they actually solicited a few years back and then they pulled it?
Yeah, it was the Monsters of the Monster
That's
Society.
right,
of
Monsters of
People.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I was looking forward to that too.
Me too. I was on the list twice when they reissued it, and they killed it both times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it finding what not find what is it? Little Nemo is all that racial stuff in there.
Oh,
I mean, it's beautiful artwork, but man, it's
And
pretty
didn't
devastating.
Terry and the Pirates have a bit of that going on too?
I imagine, yeah.
yeah, they're products of their times.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I can't particularly remember a character, a reoccurring character in Terry. I mean, there was an Asian guy that was in Terry, but there wasn't a black one. But again,
Right.
Asians too were also portrayed racistly. They're either the ponytailed Chinaman, with the slippers. Or they're the Japanese, with the kind of Mongoloidian look, with the buck teeth and
the Mickey
it's
Rooney.
like- yeah. Oh,
So
my
do you
God,
think
Breakfast at Tiffany's
Yeah.
is that the Mickey?
Yeah.
That's what I think of.
what were they thinking when
So-
they made that hire?
do you
I
think
wonder if
DC
he
would
campaigned
ever
for it.
do you think DC at some point would ever edit the very early issues of Green Lantern, the Hal Jordan ones, because
Oh,
his
Pie Face?
Asian friend Tom, he calls
Yeah.
him Pie Face.
Yeah.
Now he's not drawn in a bad way,
Right.
but his nickname is Pie Face.
Yeah.
Maybe he
So do you
likes
think
pie.
DC at some point in
Well, I
the
never
future when they
understood what
do
does that name represent? I mean, I've never heard a
racial
derogatory
slur,
term for Eskimos as pie faces or something.
well, it's for Asians. It's because they're
supposedly
oh my
flat
God, I don't want to
faced
have to
and round
explain
face.
this.
Yeah, flat and round
Yeah.
faces.
Flat round face. There you go.
well, I've never heard that term other than for that character. I've never heard any.
Oh,
Asian
really?
person
Oh,
with a
yeah.
pie face.
Yeah.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, that's an easy fix. You know, I mean, it's just they can just fix it in the dialogue.
Yeah, change it to Tom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Versus having to
Right.
redraw.
Oh, I know they could, but then does it's like it's kind of like with I'd almost rather instead of it being changed, kind of like they did with some of the Tom and Jerry cartoons, I think
Mhm.
they put that dumb disclaimer before it,
Mhm.
Yeah, just leave it. Right.
instead of changing it, I'd almost rather just have him print below the
They have that
indicia or
before.
Do it
something.
like the FBI and redact it. Just put black bars.
Just put a black bar over it.
They did that with
And
Aladdin.
now modern DC comics would just be black pages. You
Well,
know?
if it's a black
Black
bar,
bars.
if it's a black character, that might be considered racist.
Yeah.
It's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to sharks, guys.
Okay.
Obviously, the shark in the room, of course, is Jaws, the biggest one, the best one to ever get made. But there's over 120 shark movies that have come out since then.
And they all suck.
120.
No, there's some fun ones. I mean, Julie and I
They
have been
don't all
watching-
suck. I got a good one ready to go.
Sharknado
Yeah,
was
let's
great.
just talk about it. Is there any?
Sharknado. Or he goes through
Well,
with the chainsaw and cuts him.
I don't know
This-
if we're
this
going
is on
over
my-
how we're
this
doing
one-
it, but
We're just discussing, but I'm going to throw
Okay.
this one up because this is on our list to watch. Julie and I started doing watching these shark shows because we started with the Meg. No, we started with
The Meg's funny.
Yeah, the Meg,
The Meg
is
is-
fun. It's you
the Meg's
check your
fun.
brain out at the door.
Yes.
And just let yourself go with it. Now the Meg 2 is absolutely horrible.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
It's you
twice as
can't
funny,
even have
though.
half a brain for that. It's just terrible.
no,
Well,
but it's
it
the
is
same
terrible.
vein.
but it's
Yeah.
still funny.
I turned it off. We turned it off because it was.
I was laughing
nonsensical.
too hard. I couldn't turn it off.
I like that,
No.
Eric. Like this, the second one is twice as funny, and they're not even trying to be really comical.
Oh, God.
Right.
Those like lizard creatures that are like on the bottom of the ocean, then somehow they're on the land eating people, and you're like, where do these dinosaurs come from?
Yeah, didn't get that far.
Oh, I thought it was funny.
So
Yes,
this one
that is good. This one is good.
Oh,
That
give
is
you
a
that.
great
This one-
poster too.
yeah.
yeah, it's
almost
Blake
the same-
Lively.
Yep.
It's
Blake
almost the
Lively.
same as Jaws
Well, it's yeah.
on a
It's,
diagonal, right? Just
Nope.
Yeah.
No, she's got
So-
clothes on.
Yeah, that's
oh,
true.
okay.
Unfortunately. So yeah, 2016, Blake Lively, she goes out swimming alone. And she basically there's a shark and she ends up 200 yards from shore on this outcropping rock, whatever. But then as the movie goes on, the tide's going up and she's got to figure it out because sooner or later she's back in the water.
Mhm. I
So,
the
yeah,
only
I
thing-
want to see that.
the only-
that's on our list.
The
My
only
head is like
minor
a shark's fin.
problem, the only minor problem I had with this was I felt like they try, and this is kind of a dumb criticism, but it just kind of stuck out to me for some weird reason. They tried to justify the shark's behavior instead of just going with it, and it was like,
Mhm.
I mean, he was out there feeding on the dead carcass of a whale, so that's why he was in the vicinity. That's fine, but he had like a
Right.
fisherman's hook stuck in his mouth, and you're like, oh, so he's pissed now and he's gonna go eat her. I just thought, just leave it alone. He's a devil shark, and we'll go
How
with
do you
that.
know? How do you know that the actor playing the shark didn't sit there saying, "What's my motivation? What's my
He's
motivation?"
actor
What is my
in the
motivation?
Yeah.
shark suit?
Yeah.
Oh. No, this is good.
He's a
Very
method
intense
actor.
movie.
The shark's a method actor. I've read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stick
I
the
love
hook in
the
my
ending, too.
lip.
I love the ending of this too. I mean, this
Yeah,
you're
don't
on the edge
ruin
of
it.
your seat. I'm
Don't
not
ruin
going
it.
to,
I've
but
not
you're on the
seen
edge
it.
of your seat through most of this movie, so it's good.
Yeah. This one's on our
Yeah.
list for next watch. The first, the one I was trying to remember is Deep Blue Sea. That was the first one we watched. And then
Did
we
you
watched
like
The
it?
Meg.
Bluest.
Yeah,
Deep
Deep Blue
Bluest.
Sea. It suffers from some of the effects of the day because it's from 1999. But
Yeah.
there's some story jumps in there where you're like, whoa, what just happened? You know?
Okay, so real quick, does everybody here, us that is, seen Deep Blue Sea?
Yes.
I've
I
never.
only
Dan?
know the song. I only know the song. Deepest, bluest. My head is like a shark's fin.
All right. Well, I don't want to ruin anything, but there
Go
was
ahead.
one.
Go ahead.
So it's so old, I don't care about spoilers. Sorry, chat. But I don't know about you guys, but when Samuel Jackson got it, I was like, what?
Well, that's what I was referring to.
I
It's
thought he was the
so-
star of the movie. And then, like, what is it, 20 minutes in, half hour in? Boom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but
he's
that's-
in the
well, that's how
middle
they get
of
you.
he's in the middle of this rah-rah speech to motivate everybody.
That's
Well-
that's what they do. It's that red herring. It gets you
Yeah.
off your rock.
I thought that scene was a bit ridiculous, and there was parts in it that I liked. I thought there was some good scenes in the movie, but I thought sometimes they because they were supposed to be super intelligent sharks, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
But
Right,
I
yep.
think I don't know. Some of it was a little silly to me. I didn't think it was bad. I mean, I enjoyed watching it because it was a shark movie, but I don't know. I just put it as an average flick.
Yeah. I mean,
Overall.
it's a fun popcorn movie. It's like it's the first like big role for Thomas Jane. And it's funny because LL Cool J uses the MF phrase, and Samuel L. Jackson does not. And it's like the
Yeah.
first
He wasn't
movie,
around long enough.
it's the first movie that Samuel L. Jackson doesn't use the MF as part of his character when somebody else does, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. I didn't realize that movie was that old. So that was the 90s, huh? Late
Yeah,
90s?
99.
Someone just pointed out on the chat that I also kind of liked was it was kind of silly. The premise was ridiculous, but the 47 meters down, I kind of liked. It was
Yeah.
scary.
I liked it too.
It had some scary moments in it.
Yeah. Now, have any of you
I didn't
guys seen
mind it.
Open Water?
I
Yes.
hated that movie. I was bored to death. I thought it was
Really?
boring.
Okay.
I
haven't
thought it
seen
was.
that.
I thought it was. I disagree. I thought it was pretty suspenseful just because of how it was shot and stuff. And
I don't
even
know.
though it's based on a true story, and you can find out, it's still interesting to watch. I didn't mind it.
That's one of the
I-
most terrifying scenarios you can
It
think of.
is.
You're out diving, on a dive ship, and
Mhm.
they forget about you and they drive off. And there you are
Yep.
floating in the water. You got your flippers and your suit on, and your pack, but you're out in open water, man. I mean, geez, what do you
How
do?
long can you tread water, right?
Right.
Well, the premise is horrifying, but the execution, I thought, how can you not make this scary? And for me, I just was bored. I thought this is dumb. Sorry. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Well,
then
I mean, the
you
guy
know
who
what I did,
directed
man?
that, Aaron, directed Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
I
So
was going to say, I grabbed Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein because I thought this is better than what I just watched.
This will get the taste out of my
you'd
mouth.
be right.
Well, you guys do know. God, I'm blanking on his name now too. I feel kind of bad. It was an anchor, and it was like 15, 20 years ago. Him and his, I think it was his wife, were in the Caymans, and he was lost at sea. They were
An
out.
anchor? Who's this?
Yeah, an anchor. They were
Oh,
out
okay.
scuba diving, and he never came back.
Okay, I remember seeing that.
I know I'm blanking on his name. And here's the weird
somebody we
thing.
all know.
He inked an issue of Avengers over Dale. It was a fill-in issue that Dale Keown drew, and he inked it. And
Wow,
I'm just,
Dale
I
drew an
feel
issue
so
of the
bad.
Avengers.
Yeah, it starred who was it? Hyperion, I think, was the star of it.
How do I not know this? I got to look this up now. What number was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, I'll show. Well, yeah, I got it on my spin rack.
All right.
But
Right.
I feel bad because I met the guy a few times. I wouldn't say we were
Yeah,
close friends.
I've met him
but
too.
I
I
met him
can't
a few
remember his
times.
name though.
I know.
It's not Brian Lee O'Malley, right?
No.
Okay.
He's going for
You
it,
tell
and
me-
he's going to
I
have
mean, you
information for us.
It's Ballinati.
Figure out the name. I'll tell you. If that's who it is.
No,
Danny Bulinati? What?
no, it wasn't. Well, no.
No.
What?
Anybody in the chat know who we're talking about?
What do you
Yeah,
guys? What did I miss?
to everything at that time.
Norman Lee. Norman Lee.
Oh yes, it was Norman Lee. Yeah,
Yeah, it was Norman Lee.
He went. They were out on vacation, and he went swimming and never came back.
Cayman Islands. Yeah,
I never heard of him.
Oh yeah, he was an inker. Real nice guy too.
Wizard,
dude, he inked an issue of Dale Keown on Avengers.
Wizard did an article, I think.
This is why you don't go swimming in the ocean. There's a ton of reasons. Getting eaten is just one of many reasons not to do that.
Strong currents. I almost drowned. I almost drowned once. This was in '93. We were at Mark Pacella's house, and this is in Laguna, and I went out and
I love Laguna Beach.
Swimming, and the current. I was out there just swimming, put my head down. I come back up, and I'm like 50 yards from where I thought I was, and I was way the fuck out.
Were you in a riptide?
Yeah, and no matter how hard I swam, I wasn't making any motion, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm done. And I kind of just like laid back to float, and I was able to kind of get my way back, not by my grace. It was the grace of God, my way back to the shore just by floating.
The only way you can
anybody
get out of a
listening-
riptide is you gotta swim slightly parallel.
Yeah,
with
parallel to the shore.
I got stuck in one too. I used to go surfing, and it was a good thing I had the board. But I mean, I swam so damn far. I was exhausted, and if you don't keep paddling, it'll just bring you back to where you were. So every inch is like hard fought to get out of those things, and it is absolutely scary. I think that was probably the last time I went surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been in the ocean, like way into the ocean. I'll maybe go 10 feet in, but you won't catch me out there.
No,
Yeah.
I
don't know
wade about
10 feet.
ankle deep, and that's about as good as I get. I
You
figure
know,
there's no
a
shark
good
big
rip
enough
current
to
can
get
pull
me
you
in
out ankle deep. Just saying.
Yeah.
I love swimming in the ocean. I grew up on the ocean, and I love the smell of the salt in the sea, and
It's great swimming in the ocean because the salt makes you more buoyant.
Yeah.
So you're really light and you float. I love it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love kind of getting beat up by the waves and stuff too.
I love it when predators chew on my leg and I bleed to death in the
And
ocean. It's such good
when
time.
you go out, that's when the ocean really beats you
Yeah.
up.
The odds of that happening, Aaron, are so slim.
yeah, they really are. slim.
Tell that to those 4 people in Texas or 3 that just got munched up.
4 people in Texas out of a country of 350 million.
Yeah, but do you think they feel lucky?
I think,
Yeah. All it takes is one bite.
That's
one time.
Hey, chat can verify
lucky
this,
guy.
but aren't like hippopotamuses more deadly? Like they kill more in a year
Yes.
than a shark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but thankfully there's none around here except at the zoo.
And the biggest killer is a mosquito,
Yeah,
from what
it's
I
true.
understand.
Yeah.
Well,
'cause of
next to
malaria.
COVID shots.
Right.
Oh, did I just get this struck? Sorry.
the-
Wow. When it's not your
missed
channel.
That was a great joke, though,
goose
Aaron.
fairy.
That was really good.
Oh, sorry about that.
Aaron, I
girl.
posted the link in the private chat for that Avengers.
Yeah, I just took a
Okay.
look at it. Good stuff. Colored really great too. The
Yeah,
color-
Brian Bolanati.
2013. So Norman's been gone for less than a decade, I guess, because he inked this. So
My goodness, I don't remember this at all.
He's Asian, right? Like he's kind of this bigger, like a Hawaiian dude or something, right? I remember Wizard did an article on the whole thing. Like
it was 2016. FBI offers $10,000 reward for missing comic artist. This was 2016.
Wow. Yeah.
That's more
Yeah.
than he made in a year.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
That's
Yeah,
Saltwater.
classic. 2015. Here we go.
Have you ever
Yeah.
seen the mouth of a hippopotamus? I saw
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
recently. It's like an alien thing. It's not just those 2 tusks.
I
They
just got-
have these other like bladed things, and then these giant like molar type things.
yeah.
There's teeth sticking out everywhere in that mouth.
I know it did. They were feeding him a melon or something, and I was watching that because the guy patted him on the tongue to get him to open his mouth, and he was like showing all, and it was just like layers of. It was freaking
That's
so
exactly what
weird.
I saw.
Yeah, it was just
it's-
like
it's gross.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's gross. Hey, just because I man, I haven't thought about this in years. Here's a picture of Norman at his desk with Adele Keown Page.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
Norman.
know what? I have met that guy too.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
looked-
Holy
Yeah.
shit, that's from the book. Yeah, that is. That's
Yeah.
from this Avengers.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Norman what? Lee?
Norman Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I met him a few times. Like I said, sweet guy.
Yeah.
So I remember when this happened, it was just kind of like, what?
How old was he when he drowned?
I could look it up. Let me look it up.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, he was like I said, I only met him at conventions. He was a real nice guy. But I mean, just going back to the whole getting lost out in the water, you know, the ocean and stuff. I mean, it happens, you know, I just couldn't imagine, you know.
Well, it wouldn't
Um,
last long because it would only last as long as you could tread water and you just drown.
Well, and that's what basically happened in open water is, wasn't it the husband that was basically like,
One
gotta
of
go.
them died and got eaten by the shark, right? And the other one was kind of
Right,
dead by himself.
but he basically was like, I think it was the husband, let all the air out and just went under, and that was that.
Wow. Scary.
yeah,
You know
I
that-
used to- when I was a kid, they used to say, "Oh, drowning, that's the most peaceful way to go," and I'm like, "No, you're freaking out,
No,
man!
it's
You
not.
No, and
He
then
was-
like sucking in water. It's like no,
like that. Hey, like that
I've
scene
never
in
heard that.
what's the oh god, the James Cameron film, where they're underwater.
Titanic?
No.
No, the Abyss.
Oh,
The
the
abyss.
abyss.
When his wife purposely drowns herself. So, oh my gosh, that was horrible.
Yeah, Norman Lee was 47, guys.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
Young.
Oh shit! I didn't
Yeah.
realize he was. Okay.
You know the scene
Yeah,
in Jaws where they're sitting around, they're telling the stories, and Quint tells about the Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Great
you know,
scene. Best scene in the movie.
Oh yeah.
it's an awesome scene, and that was written by John Milius,
Was it?
And then cleaned up by
cleaned up by
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw, but
Right.
Milius wrote the sequence, and Shaw, who was prior to being an actor, a very successful novelist.
Was he really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
playwright.
played Quint, right?
yeah.
That's crazy because
I
he
didn't know
just
that.
seems. I believe that part so much. He made you believe that like I thought they found some crusty sea guy and brought him out. I wasn't gonna
Oh, yeah,
say
he was-
seaman.
The fact that nobody in that movie got nominated for any acting awards is ridiculous.
Well, it's
Right.
because of the way it was received. It was received not as a serious film, right?
Yeah,
Like
but it got nominated for Best Picture.
did it really?
Did
it?
I did not know that.
And Spielberg was nominated. No, actually, Spielberg did not get nominated for Best Director, which is absurd. And no
Still
acting
one of his
awards.
best films.
Yeah, which I guess my understanding is there's a documentary called The Shark is Still Working, and they actually played it here in Portland, and the director was there, and Josh and I went and saw it, and you could ask questions after the film, and I asked like 40 questions. No one else got any questions in, but he said that initially Spielberg was like really offended by the fact that everybody always referred to Jaws like it's his second movie, and he's done all these great films since, but everybody's like, oh yeah, Jaws is my favorite, that's your best work. And he said he's finally come to peace, when he interviewed him for this documentary, he goes, he's finally sort of at peace with it.
You can't pick what people like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm friends with artists. We've talked about the idea of the sweet spot, like what we think someone's sweet spot is.
Yep.
And like, I'll talk to a friend of mine. He'll go unnamed, but when I go, man, that stuff is so good, he's like, I can't look at it. It's horrible.
It's been, I have that argument with Howard Chaykin all the time, because he did the interior story of the first Detective Comics I ever bought, and it was written by Archie Goodwin. I love that story. It immersed me into it. And there's this one sequence where he's got a panel, and then he's got an open panel with no borders. In that open panel is Batman coming up out of a sewer grate, holding the circular sewer grate, right, as bullets are coming at him and the bullets are bouncing off. And then he's entirely in shadow except his eyes as he's holding it. It's a freaking killer panel.
Yeah.
And he says, it's terrible. It's because it was early on in his career. But I keep
Right.
telling him you're wrong. It is not. It's wonderful. It's left a lasting impression on me. So it withstands the time. It's just a
I
great.
got great advice from an editor once, and he said, never demean your past work. He said, because there's some reader out there that really loves it.
Yep.
So don't talk it down, say, I'm a better artist now or whatever.
Yeah, let me talk your work down. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what I'm saying. You don't demean your past
Thanks,
work.
Dan.
Your friends
We'll do it for you. We'll do
Yeah.
it for you.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
you get on the
Speaking of, I was talking to Dan earlier, and I said, Dan, that piece you did for Aaron is fantastic.
Oh,
And speaking of sweet spots, my sweet spot for Aaron's work, don't blush now, buddy. My sweet spot for your work, best stuff at Tachyon. I mean, seriously.
Look at
don't talk it down, Aaron.
No, I'm not going to.
Don't talk it down.
I was actually quite proud of Tachyon because I was trying to do better
There you
storytelling.
go.
I was making a lot of efforts in that to kind of go next
yeah,
level.
you had a
and it just
battle with that one
tanked.
though, right? With the
Huh?
writer or the right. I remember you saying that some sort of battle happened.
Well, just that
during-
I got blamed for the failure of the book by the writer,
Right.
and then I kind of got
Right.
blacklisted at DC. But other than that, it was fine. I wanted to mention that's true. Alfred Moreno was
true.
one of the
And
Mexican guys.
on that vein,
for South
before you go
American
on, Aaron, I just want to say I was watching Back to the Future today, and I hadn't seen that movie in years. And you know how Biff has his cronies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, one of those cronies is Billy Zane.
Yes, he is. Yes.
Is it?
Yeah,
wow.
I didn't know.
I don't remember that
I
either.
have to
never
go back
noticed
and look
that.
now.
Yeah.
He's in
The
it.
Phantom.
Yeah, the Phantom.
Smash Evil or Slam Evil or whatever.
Slam
Slam Evil, yeah.
Evil.
Drink milk, slam evil.
Now, what I was going to say was you're talking about the USS Indianapolis scene, and Robert Shaw wanted to do it drunk. He thought it'd be more effective, and so he got drunk, and I guess it was a complete disaster. And they ended up having to drag him off the set
Yeah.
and then redo it when he was sober.
Well, that's a
And
pretty
well, he
cool.
got
That's a
mean
pretty
when he
cool
was
thing.
drunk.
You get paid to get drunk. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a cool
Jealous.
gig, right?
It's not a very good idea. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
did you ever
Spielberg
see
must have been going,
Mel Brooks talk about who he was going to hire for the not the Two Gun Kid, whatever the character was in Blazing Saddles. He wanted Gig Young because Gig Young was an alcoholic and he thought he'd be able to pull it off. Well, Gig Young gets up there and he starts doing the lines. He starts throwing up bile and shit like that. And he realized he wasn't acting. The guy is just, he says, never hire an alcoholic to play an alcoholic.
See, Aaron, I didn't know that about Jaws because seriously, I heard that the only way they got through that scene is the fact that he was drunk when he did the scene. So he wasn't.
Well, it's hard to say how much he was intoxicated at any point during that film, but he got bombed at the first time they did that scene, and at least that's what I read. And that it was just horrible, and they couldn't,
Well, they were he and Dreyfus were always he was always going at Dreyfus, basically calling him a pussy and because everybody loved him when he was sober, but when he was drunk, he was a mean drunk, and he was picking fights and stuff, and he challenged Dreyfus to jump off the mast of the boat. And finally, Spielberg says, "Nobody's jumping off a mast in this boat in my movie."
Well,
no.
As the story
Not
goes,
till filming's over.
The more details about that. Apparently, and again, this is what I read, was that Shaw was really mean to Dreyfus when they were on set and in character, but when even like in between takes and stuff, but when they were not, it was like they're hanging out after, not shooting that day or whatever, he was fine. So it may be like you said, he may have been getting sauced all the time. It was just
maybe it was a method thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe he was just, thought it'd be fun.
or it could be a drinking problem.
Yeah, it could have been either of those.
I'm going with that.
Or it could just be a drinking problem. Dude, you're an alcoholic. That's the problem.
Yeah, he was. So
Yeah, he died young, had a heart attack.
Oh man, how
I
old was he?
remember hearing a story about Ridley Scott was bagging on what's his name that did the first Alien movie, the
Sigourney
director.
Weaver?
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver, but she was pissed at the director.
it was Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I had him reversed. But so you know that the chest burster scene, and she was really pissed off because nobody knew that's what they were going to do.
Right.
Only the actor that had the special effects thing, and so like Ridley Scott's hiding behind, like, yeah, I just want to get a real reaction, blah blah blah. And then Sigourney Weaver is like, I'm a freaking actor, you asshole. Like, that's what I do. I act. Like, you didn't trust me enough that I could freak out. Like, this
You know
thing.
what, man? I'm sorry, but if someone said, "Would you like dinner with Ridley Scott or with Sigourney Weaver?" It's Ridley Scott. I'm sorry, but
No, I think he's a way more interesting person, and I'm not taking sides.
I like his methods, man.
That's what she.
Can we rename Fraggott's name to misogynist? Jeez, Dan.
I like his methods.
You know what else he did? He apparently told Yvette Cotto to give her a hard time all the time on the set, even when they weren't filming, so that they would build up this sort of animosity between the two characters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And she wouldn't shave her bush.
Yeah.
Right.
They spent all the money painting
Method.
Yeah, they had to go by and remove all the poof. Frame by frame.
Digitally remove the poof.
They give her a wax job. Yeah.
Well,
I wonder if that original footage still exists and if they would put it into, like a director's cut of Alien.
Well, her argument was, well, we've been in hyperspace or sleep for what, 6 months or a year or whatever. So
shit grows.
Yeah, but I don't know if it'd grow that fast, would it? If you're in suspended animation, it probably wouldn't grow that fast anyway.
Well, imagine by Aliens, the second movie, because she was asleep for 56 years.
Yeah, where was her?
Yeah, I mean, holy cow! I mean,
just
look like a basket of tribbles.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, sweetie, your hair up here didn't grow that much. What the hell's going on?
They're looking like she got buckwheat in the leg lock.
Oh, well, there's an image. There's an image. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
Folks, this is the only show that completely goes off the rails no matter what the subject is. I'm just telling you. So if you're watching for the first time.
Yeah, that's why we are the bros.
That's right. This is typical for us.
Yeah.
The youngest guy in the bros makes a Little Rascals joke.
Makes a what?
A Little Rascals joke.
I did.
It's true.
I did. Speaking of not that old, Kevin Ryan was saying that Shaw was only 51 when he died.
Yeah. He was.
What
not
is
that
it
old.
about? I saw this meme on Instagram, and I'm kind of feeling like it's true. They said that like people look younger now, right? And they showed like a series of people, and they're like, that guy's 38, that guy's 42, and they all look 68, 70.
Yeah.
Well, Wilford Brimley was in his 40s when they shot Cocoon.
Yeah.
How is that possible? How is that?
Same thing when they shot The Thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was an old folks' home in Cocoon, right? Like,
Yes.
It wasn't just an old guy; it was like an old guy.
And he was,
Right.
well,
Yeah, it was an old. Yeah,
Red Fox was 48 when he was doing Sanford and Son.
Right. Exactly. And what was Alice in Brady Bunch, like 38 or something?
Yeah. She was not that old.
probably.
Yeah.
Poor Alice.
I mean, some of these people lived hard lives too.
Yeah.
With their addictions and stuff like that.
Smoking and drinking in Hollywood was not unheard of.
Yeah.
No. It's a
Drugs.
prerequisite.
Who knows?
So, guys, in case you're really curious, the Alien 4K remaster painstakingly adds Sigourney Weaver's bush back in.
Wait, they painstakingly add it back in?
Graham, you just got a 4K TV, 75 inch. You can get that bush in your
I don't know if
face.
I want to see that.
Wait a
I don't know
minute.
that I want to see that.
Is that true?
Well, I just bought
I mean,
that
it's what
4K. I just got the 4K version. I haven't watched it yet.
All right, now is it really
Well, now you can let us know if
painstaking?
it's true or if I'm just
Is that
Seen something
painstaking
made up,
work
but
though?
I've seen it a lot, and I'm seeing a blurred out picture as well.
Yeah, I don't know that I need to see that, but so Graham, now you said you've got the like all the number one blockbusters from 1975 on.
Yes.
Are we going to guess some of those here?
Yes, let's do that.
Let's do
Let's
it. I
do
want
it.
to. I
So,
want
of
to see what
course,
this is.
the first one is Jaws, 1975. That's the one
Right.
that defined what a summer blockbuster is. I think it was the first big movie that they released during the summer because that wasn't a usual time for releases.
Mhm.
And then they realized, holy shit, this is a great time to release, these big budget films. So that was 1975. What was the number one blockbuster of 1976?
Would it have been Rocky?
Would it be The Sting?
The Sting was
Dude, I'm gonna
earlier.
need
That
multiple
was
choice.
73.
I don't know,
I need
guys.
multiple
You,
choice.
you have to remember my memory. Even though I remember stuff, my details from 73 to 79 are very they're all jumbled up.
So Rocky is not the correct answer.
Correct.
No.
No.
76.
Any chance you do multiple choice?
Well, Star Wars was 77, so it couldn't
Star
have
Wars
been
77. Superman was 78.
8.
Yeah, but
Nope,
Star
nope,
Wars
nope,
wasn't
nope.
a summer
Superman
movie
was not
either.
78.
So
Superman was in 78.
Nope.
70. No, Superman was
Superman
77.
doesn't. The Superman wasn't a summer blockbuster. Superman got released at Christmas time.
Right, but it was 77, wasn't it?
No, it was 79.
79.
Well, it was.
Superman was
Wait,
79, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're saying 79.
yeah.
Huh.
Somewhere in Time came out in 79, so he was all over the place. All right, so let's see.
76
76.
blockbuster.
Close Encounters. I'm just looking at the
No,
chat
that was
now.
77.
That's 77.
Network. No, Network wouldn't have been it.
The Omen.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Was it?
yes.
Andy got it. The
It was
Omen.
the Omen. Nice.
I didn't get it. One slick dude got it. I just read the
Good
chat.
job, one slick.
The Omen
The
was.
Omen was a summer movie?
Yep.
Wow.
Does it say what it made? How much it made?
Yes. The Omen worldwide box office was $60 million.
At that time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and-
when
but
that-
the budget was 2.8.
Yeah.
Wow.
This
Yeah,
one's
that's
for you, Damien.
Oh god, that movie freaked me out, man.
Yeah,
The
same.
goldfish scene, and
The,
I haven't
the-
seen it. Oh god.
the creepy woman who watches the kid with the
Yeah.
dog. Yeah.
Doesn't she sacrifice herself like for
Yeah, that's what
David?
she says. She says, "This one's for you, Damien." She jumps out the window and hangs herself.
Yeah.
That's a different character. That's not the one who was
Oh, that's
watching
not the
over
same.
Damien.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah,
David Warner got his head cut off with that
Yeah.
glass that
Yeah.
came out of that.
Anytime I would see a kid with that haircut, I'd literally say, "You got the Damien haircut." Like,
Yeah, that kid
Yep.
was creepy looking.
they
Yeah.
did right. The casting people did right.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
did.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
That kid ever go on to
77
do anything as an adult?
No, I don't think so.
No,
Yeah,
he,
he grew up
he
to
was
become
the son of-
Satan.
Yeah, he was the son.
Yeah.
And then who played the guy grown up? It was that guy from Jurassic Park, right? He
Yeah,
played-
Sam Neill.
Sam
yeah,
Neill.
Sam Neill played him as an adult. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
he was kind of
So-
creepy. Yeah.
So 77, we all know
Star
what
Wars.
that one was.
Star Wars.
Right? Yeah, it's Star Wars. How about 78?
Close
You know-
Encounters.
No, Close Encounters was 77. It was the same year as Star Wars.
Was it?
You gotta
Yeah, it
you
was-
gotta remember this is summer. So you gotta,
Right,
you gotta
right,
think
right.
of what were you
I
watching
don't-
in the summer of 78.
Wait a minute.
I was
Listen,
4. I don't
This
remember.
is interesting. Hank. Spielberg and George Lucas both got nominated for Best Director in 77 for Close Encounters and Star Wars. And of course,
What?
Annie Hall won with or Woody Allen.
Well,
Yeah.
let me ask you. Back then, when did the summer blockbuster? What was the month? Was it June or was it?
Nope.
May?
Well, it would be June through August.
78? Was it The Goodbye Girl?
78 is
What is
not
that?
the Goodbye Girls. This is an easy one if you think about it.
78.
Superman? No, we already said that.
It's not Superman.
All right, I'm going with the chat. Grease.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Oh yeah. Of
Grease.
course.
Yes.
I didn't know it was a summer movie.
You know
yeah.
what?
I
It's the
know.
frickin' word.
Summer
Summer
lovin'.
lovin'.
Yeah. Grease, of course. How stupid of me.
Yeah.
All right.
Shame on that.
Okay, so should I skip around or should I just go? in
You
order?
should skip around because
Okay.
80s, well, 1980s was Empire Strikes Back, wasn't it?
That was 81.
No, that was 80.
82. Oh, was it 80? Yeah, you're right. It was 1980. Wait, what
Empire
about-
Strikes Back. Yep, that was 1980.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's
Yeah, I
just
think
do.
you
We're
should
right
jump-
here at 79. We can't skip 79.
All right.
All right. All right. 79.
And now Superman's not. So
Debbie Does Dallas.
it was
Linda
the feel
Lovelace
good hit
in-
of the summer.
Linda Lovelace in Deep Throat.
Give us a clue, Graham. Give us some clues.
Kay
Moving
Parker.
Adrian.
Rocky.
Rocky.
forward. Rocky 2.
Rocky 2.
Rocky
Okay.
2.
Rocky 2.
Yeah, that was a big hit.
So
Okay.
that made look at this worldwide box office 200 million,
Wow.
and the
Holy
budget
shit.
was only 7.
Yeah, those were
Wow.
freaking.
And I
Man.
didn't Stallone
office.
direct that one and produce it, so he probably cleaned up on that.
Well, he directed the first one.
No. He
Yeah,
didn't.
Oh no, he
John
wrote the
Avildsen
first
did.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
he
John
wrote it.
Avildsen directed the
And
first
said
one.
he wanted a star on it, or a star in it, or they wouldn't give it to him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
What a
here's
power
something
move.
interesting. You know what Rocky 2 beat out for the box office?
79.
Howard the Duck.
That was 86. That was 86.
It
See, when we
beat
get
out
into the
Alien.
80s,
It beat
Did it
out
really?
Sigourney Weaver's Bush.
nice.
Oh,
Wow.
That was 79. You're right.
Yep.
Aliens.
I,
yeah.
I
Alright,
did
let's
see that.
We're gonna
I
jump into
did
the
see that
80s for
either.
the youngsters here.
You know what I'm surprised about? What Animal House would have been, that was been 70, was that 77 or 78? Because that couldn't have competed with Star Wars. Nothing could
That was
compete with Star Wars.
78, I believe.
Yeah, 78 because that would have been big. So
Yeah.
80 was Empire Strikes Back. 81 had to be Raiders.
Yep.
Beat out
Yep.
the oh no, wait,
So
it was
the next group, the next ones are pretty easy. It's
82
Raiders,
is
E.T. the Extraterrestrial,
yeah.
Return of the Jedi,
yeah.
Temple of
Mm.
Doom.
Yep.
Okay, so we're
We're in
85.
85.
Back to the Future.
85.
Back to the
Back
Future.
to the Future. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, good one for you. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow,
86.
The 80s really were owned by Lucas and Spielberg.
Yeah,
Mhm.
86.
Future was a Spielberg production, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
86 was that Predator?
Nope.
No. 86. Not Rambo. First
Terminator.
It wasn't Aliens, was
No,
it?
Terminator is 84.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and
Top
Terminator.
Gun.
Top Gun.
Top Gun, that's
Oh,
right. Yes.
yeah,
I
there
didn't
you
realize
go.
that was a summer movie.
Right into
What do
the
you mean it's
danger
not?
zone.
Yeah, right in the danger zone. All right, here's one. 1988. 1988.
That would be a Tom Cruise movie, probably. Rain Man?
Interview with the Vampire.
No.
No, that was the
Yeah.
90s.
No, hold on. It was 15.
88. That wouldn't have been Aliens, would it? What year
Red
was
Dawn.
Aliens? 87?
Oh,
88?
Predator. Was it Predator? No,
that was
It was
87.
86, I think, wasn't it?
86 or 87.
What about Rambo? Rambo sequel?
Nope.
That was 86 or
Oh.
87 as well. 88. 15.
All right, give us a clue.
It's animated.
Oh, Who Framed Roger
Who
Rabbit?
Framed Roger Rabbit?
I
And then,
saw that at film school. I waited in line to see
and
that.
then 89 would be Batman.
No, actually, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? No, 89 was up against Batman and Lethal Weapon 2. But
What was it?
it was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh,
that was a great one,
shit.
too.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite. Oh, wow.
Wow, what a summer that was.
Yeah, holy
Once
shit.
again, these are all Spielberg Lucas related films. Like this whole like
They
up
were
to
running things.
9, like that is quite a monopoly.
Yeah, Crocodile Dundee. What was that? 88?
Yeah, that's a knife.
Yeah, what was
Uh,
88? What was-
88 was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And what will we say for 87?
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh,
Interesting.
Wow.
You know
Yeah,
what?
it's a
I ain't
sequel,
falling for no
no.
banana and no tailpipe.
Well, that was the
Yeah, I am not
That
falling
was
for
the
the
first
banana
one.
tailpipe trick.
Banana tailpipe.
But that probably wasn't a good year for the summer movies because it was up against Dirty Dancing.
Oh, yeah.
You know. Okay, let's go to 90.
oh boy. Now I'm not as good when I get out of the older ones.
80s. Yeah.
90.
Robin Hood.
T2.
T2 is 91.
Yep.
Uh,
T2 is 91. That's the one from
no, and
91.
Robin Hood was in 91 also. Hold on.
Yeah.
90. Was it Little Mermaid?
Ghost.
Nope.
Ghosts. All right.
Ghost.
That's
Whoopi.
where Demi Moore and Whoopi make out, right? Like over
Yeah,
the
but that's
buffet.
where Whoopi went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what drove her crazy.
That's when
That's
Ted Danson was hitting it, probably.
Oh.
What's
he
wrong
with
with that
Whoopi
guy?
Goldberg?
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't
They
know
were
that?
together for a while.
Yeah.
There's even pictures / footage of him in blackface hanging out with her.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. Ted did
Yeah.
blackface with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
he felt like
yeah.
he got invited to the barbecue and just went crazy.
Well, liberals are like that, you know.
Yeah.
What? Oh, was there ever a point where Whoopi Goldberg was attractive to anybody? I guess I don't know.
Well,
To Ted Danson.
she's attractive as a deterrent. You know, some guys run baseball games through their minds.
Yeah, but would you want to go longer with her?
Oh
No.
Yeah.
No.
I want a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Okay, 90.
Gross.
So 91 was
You'd only do it if you lost a bet
But-
anyway, right?
But
You
not,
would-
give us a clue on 90.
Wait. Hey, Graham, share my. Share.
Go.
You want to see
go.
Ted
Yeah,
Danson?
it was Ghost.
It was
Oh,
go.
that's right. Okay. In 91 was T2. 90.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh man.
What was he thinking?
He was not.
He was
wasn't.
thinking he was going to be friends with Billy Batson.
That's right.
And
Wow.
That's
Ah.
just.
Not
It's
good.
funny the stuff that liberals overlook that other liberals
Sorry,
do,
baby.
right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And you know
But
what? They call us weird.
Yeah.
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 You're weird.
Did you guys see that meme for the closing ceremonies of the Olympics? And
No.
it's the blue
No.
guy, right? And he's standing there all like this, and behind him is the Turkish shooter.
Does he have a cigarette in his mouth still?
I think he did.
Dude, man. That picture of that guy, all that dude had to do to make that picture more epic was turn the gun sideways. And it just would have been like,
Oh gosh, that was good.
That was awesome. All right, so let's go to 93.
Jurassic Park.
Yep, nailed it.
yeah, Jurassic Park. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to skip around.
You know, I have to say, I saw Jurassic Park with John Peterson in New York City, and I was floored. That movie on the big screen, seeing it for the first time,
I know.
Yeah.
what I was seeing. Those dinosaurs were freaking.
yeah,
I'll quote.
I'll tell you the Tyrannosaurus scene where it's in the rain and it's you know
Mm-hmm.
that still holds up. I've watched that recently and I'm like, oh my god, this still holds up. It doesn't look like clear blue sea or deep blue sea
Yeah.
effects.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but they had a life-size T-Rex, as you guys know, right? And they would intercut between
Yeah.
the model and
That's
then
the
the
smart way to
CGI,
do
and I
it.
think that helped a lot.
That's the way to do it. Really is
Because you never knew what you were seeing, right? And they
Right.
could
Yeah.
map the CGI to what the model looked like, and so it was
So
seamless.
they built a life-size animatronic T-Rex. I didn't know
Yep.
that.
the head, right?
Stan
Dan-
no, it was
Dan
the whole
Winston.
thing.
The whole
Yeah,
thing,
the whole
body
thing.
and everything. Yeah.
The whole
Wow.
thing.
The thing
I
is,
didn't know that.
like they had so much rain effects, they didn't realize that latex absorbed. It's like a sponge.
Oh,
So
God.
that thing would get like the palsy shakes. Like it,
Right, because
one-
it'd take the balance off
weight-
the weight.
It was so
yeah,
heavy.
the weight was so much, it's
Oh.
just like
So
that.
they were drying it off with towels in between scenes.
Yeah.
to get
But
it
you
to look
guys,
right.
you guys got to check this out. Like one of the, I don't know if it's Japan or China or whatever. They have these Universal parks. You know how like Universal has the Jurassic Park ride or whatever it is. They
Mhm.
actually in China or Japan, that T-Rex, they have a robot, an audio animatronic that actually follows you. It will run after you on the ride. So you're like in this Jeep or something, you're taking off, and that thing's on some kind of track and the legs are moving. It's full figure,
Oh,
man.
wow.
That's
It's
cool.
pretty crazy to look at. Yeah. I mean, it looks just like the movie.
Did any of you guys read the book by Crichton?
No,
Yeah,
but
I got
Yeah,
to
I
the part
know.
where he was doing the DNA code, and I got bored and quit reading.
Oh,
Well,
I really enjoyed the book because the kids get killed.
Oh, do they?
I don't even
That'd
remember
have been,
that.
and I'm going to read it now because
Yeah, because they're the most annoying thing in that movie. That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
Spielbergian.
I
It's
know.
the only thing that takes me out of that movie is that
which
and
ones?
the kids
kid-
in
the
Jurassic
kids.
Park.
Main kids. But also, doesn't it start as the second one starts with the little girl on the beach, like the family vacationing,
Yeah,
and then
she
the
gets
little
killed.
chompies, the little chompies. That's how the book
Yeah.
starts, right? And then those things kill the family on the beach.
That's the best
I
part
mean,
of that
I
movie.
haven't read it since it was first published, so
Yeah,
you know,
same.
it
I
could
think
be.
that's how it opens. Yeah, it opens with
That
the
does sound familiar.
from the second movie. So yeah, there's a lot of kids that die in the book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what's crazy too is I remember you were probably, you said you were in New York, Art. I remember we saw it at Extreme. We went and saw it at the Dome over off the 91, and I remember after leaving, it was somebody, it might have even been Rob. Somebody said that, oh man, they need to do a sequel where they have to basically send in the Space Marines to Jurassic Park, to make it like almost like Aliens, Alien 2,
Right.
where it's, imagine that could have been badass.
Well, they tried to do something like that with the hunters, but they neutered the hunters because they wouldn't let them really kill any of the raptors or anything.
Right, because they turned it into a kids thing.
Yeah, the raptors just killed all the hunters, and I was like, this is
Yeah.
I didn't like
Well,
Well, the second
It
they
was-
take it,
my son, as I guys have told you, had an internship at Legacy, which was Stan Winston's studio, and then of course he passed away, and they carried on. And one of the guys, the directors, I never forget the one guy's name because he's like the Golden Age Green Lantern. It's Alan, not
Scott.
Alan Grant, but Alan
Scott.
Alan Scott runs but his partner, like he was one of the guys that, like, the kitchen scene where the raptors come into the through the door and stuff, and they had guys in suits, working in the hind legs, and he was one of the guys who was working on the suit and having conversations with these guys, because I went in there a couple of times and got to talk to all these different guys, and it was really fascinating them talking about basically what even at that point was old school special effects, because everything is, they were worried about going, not being able to keep people busy because of all the CGI and less practical effects. But
the first movie, they were going to do it all. What's that guy's name from Star Wars that does
Tippett.
Tippett.
Yeah, Phil
Tippett.
Tippett.
Phil
They were
Tippett.
going to do that,
Phil.
and you know what? There's some of that footage exists. That movie would not have succeeded. I'm sorry, that Phil Tippett's really good, but it would not.
It would have
been.
looked like, Ray Harryhausen stuff. It
Yeah.
would,
I was gonna
Right.
say it would have been that stop motion stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
It's smoother than what Harryhausen did, but it still wasn't good enough.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
can't
good
believe
enough.
that they were moving forward with that guy doing it. So all that stuff with the computer and Stan Winston and all that stuff happened kind of on the fly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Wasn't one of the computer guys saying, "Hey, I think I can do this. Why don't you give me a shot?" And they did that test footage of the T-Rex breaking through the.
Those
And
two
they're
guys.
like,
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, we'll do that.
Let's do
Well,
this.
how much do you think the budget was to make Jurassic Park?
25 million. I'm guessing.
I bet it was over 100 million even then.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Anybody else?
No, it's probably closer. I would say closer.
55.
I would put it in between there and 75. Probably about 70-ish.
Very close. 63 million.
Wow.
And you know what's amazing about those movies is, like, even with the first Star Wars, they were developing the technology while they were making the movie.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You would think like it would be through the roof, right? Because all this development and all this money, but those guys, all those Industrial Light and Magic guys, those guys were very humble. They just wanted to make good effects. They just wanted to, the opportunity to prove themselves. So they weren't really thinking about the money. They were just thinking about like, this would be cool to see on the big screen, kind of like comic book artists, you just
it's funny you mentioned that sort of R&D thing. I had my buddy Ben, he's a special effects wizard, won an Oscar for Hugo. He worked on Hollow Man 2. Not a great movie. Why was it even greenlit, you might ask? Because Hollow Man 1 didn't shake up the world, but the answer was Hollow Man 2 was R&D for Spider-Man 1. They needed to get the full figure animation, and they had to get it figured out before they got to work on Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, so instead of just paying a bunch of guys to develop something, you pay them to make a movie that you hopefully get some return on, and they learn at the same time.
That's exactly right.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Just think if they had horses, if they could afford to have horses in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's where they came up with the coconut gag, because they could not. They didn't have the budget to get horses.
It's the best gag.
I know.
It's so good.
Bring out your dad.
Talk about now that had at one point, I guess probably it still is the record for lowest budget and highest return.
Does it really?
Yeah, because I think the budget on that was like $500,000, and they made like 97 million or something.
What?
Wow.
Holy Grail?
Yeah, and it was financed by a couple of rock groups from England. Was it Led Zeppelin, and who else put money into that?
Didn't George Harrison?
I can't remember.
Actually, it was George Harrison and Slowhand.
Yeah.
Oh, Eric Clapton. Okay.
Yeah. Harrison was really into film too, because movies like El Topo and Holy Mountain with Jodorowsky, that was a lot of the funding came from.
Isn't even like Time Bandits? I think he was involved with financing.
Could be that. I love that movie so much.
That movie is one of my all-time favorite.
Do you have a map? I've got the map.
Got the map.
I have the map, and it's on canvas.
Oh, I thought you were making a joke. Oh,
no, I've got the map.
Cool.
They sell them. They sell reproductions of the map, and it's on canvas and everything. And I'm like,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
I ripped that scene off, like at the end when those guys have to clean up the mess.
Yeah.
In Chrono Mechanics, at the end, there's like this devastation and all this. And so then the Chrono Mechanics just hand the guy a broom and say, "You're going to have to clean up this mess."
Don't touch it. It's evil.
It's evil. And Sean Connery, like, perfect.
He's so good. So good.
I would ditch my parents for
you know what? I was that kid's age. I was that kid's age too, and I had that same thought. I'm like, yeah, especially those parents, right? Like the ones they were.
Yeah, his parents were horrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody brought up Forbidden Planet in the chat, and it gets back to that monster being animated by Disney animators. When they got it in the laser stream, and it's like,
I'm thinking of Fantastic Planet,
and it looks like a cartoon thing. It's.
But it was still cool. I mean, if you take it for the time period, I still thought it was cool.
Hey, we should talk about like blockbusters that never became blockbusters that the studio thought would be.
Rocketeer.
That's a good movie, but like what is it? Black Hole, the Disney movie.
Oh yeah, that was a disaster.
I've never seen it. I tried to watch it like a while ago. That movie is so bad.
I like Black Hole.
That almost crippled Disney, man. That movie cost so much at the time, it almost crippled Disney.
Battlefield Earth.
Oh,
that's what I said. Battlefield Earth, man. That thing.
John Carter.
Waterworld.
John Carter. Yeah.
Oh, I still love that movie though.
Waterworld is actually really good.
It's not a bad movie. It is. It just did horribly.
No, it's a bad movie, Aaron.
What, Waterworld?
John Carter?
No, I was talking about Waterworld.
Some sharks in it have been better.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to talk current, Kevin Costner's latest one that they were going to do in 2 parts.
Oh, Horizon.
That thing, it took a bath. It made $11 million the first weekend.
What? I didn't even know that it came out.
there was supposed to be the part 2 in August, and they
Yeah.
pulled it indefinitely.
Wow.
And Horizon's they already pulled Horizon too.
Oh,
Yeah,
They didn't do
Because he
any
put his own
marketing on
money
it.
in that.
They didn't
I
do
know.
any marketing. I didn't even know it existed until
No, I didn't either.
just now.
I never heard of it till right now.
Oh, really?
Joe Bernardo
Dennis,
brings up,
it's a
It's
it's
an
a
awesome
Western. Takes place. Yeah, it takes place late. Well, it takes place through some generations, I think.
Yeah.
And Dennis watched it, 3 hours long, and him and his wife love Westerns, and they were just like, "This is the worst thing we've ever seen."
wow.
Really?
Great. It's a great
Yeah.
title for a Western, Horizons. Like
Yeah.
I just thought like some of the marketing, some of the early stuff I saw was kind of cool. I hadn't heard that it bombed though.
Oh yeah,
Joe
Yeah,
Bernardo
I think
brings
it's
up,
already out of the theaters, isn't it?
yeah, I
Probably.
don't think.
Yeah.
Joe Bernardo brings up the Black Cauldron, and that was another Disney movie that they spent a ton on in the 70s and just tanked.
How about
Horrible.
Condor? Remember Condor Man?
I don't think
yeah,
they
but I don't think that was ever supposed to be a blockbuster. Hey, what about Meteor Man?
Right.
I remember those ad in comics. Come on, Meteor Man.
Didn't that guy from Three's Company play like some superhero too?
Oh, that was
John
actually
Ritter.
that was a good little
That
movie.
was actually a pretty good movie. That
With
wasn't
Ann
a
Archer.
blockbuster, but it didn't bomb.
Yeah, Ann Archer was worth.
Yeah, I love Ann Archer. Love Ann Archer.
She's a cutie.
Yeah, she is cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
But the guy who did Meteor Man, he's a black actor and director, right?
Yeah, Robert Townsend.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Robert
his name.
Townsend.
It
He
was
did
Robert
that whole thing on his credit card.
no, that was the movie before that, the Hollywood Shuffle.
Hollywood
Are you
Shuffle
sure?
was,
Yeah,
that was really
yeah.
good.
Oh,
Hollywood
okay.
Shuffle was really good.
Because he couldn't get any gigs, so he maxed out his credit cards and made his own movie, and it was a hit because it was a
Yeah.
super low budget hit. That's where he got the cred to do this other stuff, and then
That's a great success
Wait a
story.
second.
It's too bad he couldn't follow through, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but isn't that what
Sibling
Kevin
Bond-
Smith did with his first movie? He pretty much did it all with credit cards.
Oh,
and shit.
Clerks.
Clerks.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sibling
well,
Bond said Jack
Look
Black
at him
is in
now.
Waterworld.
Yeah, I didn't
Huh?
know that either.
I didn't know that.
who?
Jack
Wait a
Black.
minute.
Jack Black.
What year was Waterworld? 90?
That was 95.
95.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the year of the Youngblood spaceship at San Diego. Like I have some of these movies, I have summer memories because we would see summer movies in San Diego. Saw
Well,
Terminator.
that really predates Mr. Show and Tenacious D. You
Yeah,
say
let me
90?
take a look. Jack Black.
I don't
Um,
remember him in that.
He had to
They're
be
bringing up the Disney stuff in the chat that I keep forgetting. Do you guys see Dragon Slayer? I thought that was terrific.
No.
With the dragon effects, the special effects they had for the dragon in that
that was
movie.
Bluth though. That wasn't.
No.
Oh, the live action. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Peter McNichol or
Holy
whatever.
shit.
The
was
dragon
little
looked.
wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dragon was awesome in that.
Here,
Did
I'll
you find a
share my
screenshot
screen.
of Jack Black?
I did. I'm going to share my screen right now. That's
Somebody in
fucking
the
weird.
chat said
Wasn't
he was a
Dragon
pirate.
Slayer? Didn't Marvel make a comic out of that?
But yeah, they had an adaptation.
Yeah,
Yes,
they just
did.
reprinted it, I think.
How is
Read
it
the
that I've
John Buscema
completely
drill.
forgotten about him being in this?
Jack
All right, let's see
Black.
what
You want
he
to
did.
share my
Yeah.
screen? Graham,
Was he a
you want to
bigger
share my
character?
screen?
That has to be one of his earliest.
He had to be a kid.
No.
Well,
Wow.
Jack Black isn't that much older than me, I don't think. If he's older at all, he
He
might be
was
younger.
the smoker pilot.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. What the heck?
Funny you
Thanks,
forget
Skip.
that stuff.
Never
That
knew
was
that.
Mad Max on the water. That's what that movie was supposed to
Yeah.
Right.
Supposed to
Without yeah, it wasn't as good, obviously.
be. Yeah, without the cool factor.
Right.
I like that they couldn't figure out was it the osmosis. There's a process where you can turn salt water into drinkable water. They do it on
Right.
those naval ships all the
Yeah,
time.
but he did
So
it with
like-
his piss.
Yeah, they couldn't do that. They didn't have that technology figured out.
Oh.
Yeah, but he Kevin Costner was drinking his own piss. Remember, he would like pee, and it would go through like a distillation system, and then he'd go.
That's distillation, yeah.
Yeah. Good. What is with Costner in like big budget movies? He went from like Dances with Wolves, Waterworld, The Postman, all those things were like these
Bodyguard.
mega
Bodyguard, yeah.
huge.
Well, I'll
Yeah,
tell
but
you
he
what
didn't do-
happened.
Wait, did
He-
he make Bodyguard too? Like produce it and stuff?
I think so.
Which one of the baseball players? I always get them mixed up. Is it Cal Ripken or Nolan Ryan that hadn't missed a game?
Ripken.
Cal Ripken.
It
Okay,
was Ripken.
so Jim McLaughlin, if you guys remember him from Wizard,
Yeah.
Yep.
he used to be a sports writer before he was at Wizard, and he told
Yep.
me a story that Cal Ripken told him, and this is right around The Postman. Okay, when Kevin Costner was in The Postman, and if you remember, he didn't do much press for Postman. So what had happened was they had gone on a golf game, him and Costner and buddies, and Ripken said, "Hey, I got to go to my game." Costner said, "I'm going to stay back here and take a shower." Ripken came back, caught Costner banging his wife. Ripken beat the shit out of Costner, blacked his eyes, and Jim said, you can get this all verified. The only game that Cal Ripken ever missed, the game was canceled. He called the game, and there was a technicality with the lights on a day game.
Really?
And I think that's where you ask about Costner. I think that is where his start dropped. I think people got word of like this guy's a buddy wife fucker, and you know what
So
I'm
he
saying?
was banging Cal Ripken's wife?
Yeah.
That explains a lot. That bodyguard with Whitney Houston. Like I knew there was something going on there.
Yeah.
Why would you have her in your movie if you weren't gonna do
Oh,
something?
dude, because she was a huge star at the time.
He
She
was
wasn't a
on
movie star though. She was like a pop star.
He
Yeah,
was-
but
Yeah, but you get that crossover.
he was on who's the Stern? He was on Stern show, and they asked him about that, and he said Costner said that that he had Whitney Houston in mind the whole time, and so maybe you're right, Art. Maybe he had her in mind the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it
He's a dirty
seemed
dog.
pretty perfect for her, and
But
after
dude, that is the worst, man. That is the worst. That is like breaking the guy code. You do
that's
not
right.
go nail your buddy's
That's
wife.
right.
Like, you just don't do that.
No,
That's
not
unless the guy
anymore.
passed away and then
Dude,
she's lonely, like Hunter Biden did.
Yeah, not
He's-
anymore, Aaron. I don't do it anymore.
Okay,
I
So
don't
you-
do it anymore.
you
That's good to
cleaned up
know.
your
Art.
act. Good for you.
That's right.
I learned from experience.
One of my
I
favorite
learned.
Costner moments is in Madonna's Truth or Dare, and he goes to meet her backstage, and as soon as he leaves, she's like, "Ew, he's so gross."
Who said that
Madonna.
about
and-
Costner?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that tape.
Yeah,
She
if you
would
see that
know.
clip. Yeah.
Yeah.
She would
Yeah.
definitely.
You got to be bad if Madonna thinks you're gross.
No,
Jeez.
he,
No,
I
no,
mean,
no. He used a word to describe her concert
Neat.
that
He was neat.
it was neat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like it was neat, or that was really neato, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. It was something sort of condescending.
Yeah. And he was wearing like a turtleneck and his little mullet and his glasses, and he just, yeah. I don't like Costner. I don't know if you
So
guys-
wait,
like
he
him
said
now
that
after
to her, and
doing
what did
that.
she do, or what?
Oh, she just, after he left, she dissed him.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
after
I looked up the Ripken thing, and according to this thing, Ripken came away beaten up,
No.
and that's why, because his eyes were blacked out, and then that's the why. Then there's the whole conspiracy thing about the lights at the game and all that.
No.
It was because that's why he couldn't play.
What year was that? Because Jim McLaughlin told me this in like 2000. So
Yeah.
it was fresh.
Well, it was August of '97.
Yeah. He told me this, and like I said, he was a sports writer, and he told me this story, and it was not out back then. So that's interesting how it's gotten, bless you, how it's gotten twisted a little bit.
what
But
if they
no,
both got punched in the face and they both had black eyes?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a yeah.
I would think Ripken would kick his ass.
oh,
to be
yeah.
honest.
You'd think
You'd
so.
think
Yeah.
so.
'Cause
Professional
Ripken was a
athlete.
big
was a
guy.
big
He was
dude.
like 6'4".
Yeah.
And
Professional athlete.
he had self-righteous anger on his side.
That
Yeah.
too. And it's hard to fight when your cock's hard.
I've never had to do it. I've never had to do it. Not once.
But hey, I don't
I've
want
heard.
to. I don't want to absolve the wife from responsibility here too, because that's pretty low on her part as well. But
Yeah. He was, I guess,
Well,
Costner
to be
wasn't
fair, the lights
finished.
were out, and
Yeah.
Kevin Costner's a good actor.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, it wasn't finished putting
Cal,
balls
your
in
voice
holes.
sounds different. I'm just getting ready for a game. Keep the
The
lights
worst
off.
thing is when those
Tatanka.
guys cheat with like ugly women, like Arnold cheats with his like housekeeper or
Yeah.
whatever.
No. Hold on a second. Okay.
Oh, come on.
What?
You're going to
No.
defend him?
I'm not going to defend him, but I have to think of scenarios. Let's say Malia was a total bitch and she was cold and treated me like garbage, right? So all day he's like, I'm the governor. Everybody loves me except my own wife. And then the maid one day is like, oh, it's okay. It's all right. And he turns and he's all fucking, oh no, I'm fucking the maid. You know what I mean?
He says it just like that while he's doing it. Oh
You know,
no!
when Stallone was going to put Arnold in one of those Expendables movies, you know, because he was persona non grata for a while after that whole thing.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Hollywood. And Stallone wanted to help him out. He says, "Oh yeah, the guy needs work," and and he said, "But you got to ask yourself, the fuck was he thinking? Going off and fucking that monkey." No. That's not what he said. He said, "I'd rather fuck a monkey."
Oh, okay.
Oh my god!
That's a little better, but not
Yeah.
much.
Not much.
Well, it's
Not
funny
much.
too because you look at the son that he had with her, and it's like, oh yeah, no, that's not Arnold's
Yeah.
kid, and the dude's totally jacked out, looks just like him.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, he's a good-looking kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other one looks like a Kennedy.
Yeah, the other one's a slob.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good times.
Whew.
So let's
Sure, Dan's right.
Throw some more years out.
All
More
right.
years out.
all right. This is going out to the youngsters. 2022. No. 2002.
Oh,
2002. Was that a Shrek movie?
A superhero
Spider-Man
movie.
2?
Oh, you missed it by one, Dan. 2001 was Shrek.
Okay.
Was it
Spider-Man 2.
When did Iron Man come out?
No.
2008.
You
That
know
was
what,
later.
Andy? I think Spider-Man 1 came out in 2002.
Yes, Spider-Man.
Oh,
That's it.
damn it!
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
1.
I knew
Yeah,
it was a
you were
Marvel movie. Yeah.
You're
And
right.
it beat out Attack of the Clones.
Which has got to be a huge
Nice.
first,
The Star Wars movie got beat out. How
Yeah.
about that?
And
It was
that's
an
when
early warning sign.
is that when
Star Wars.
Disney went, you, Mr. Spider-Man, you need to come over here.
That's
And
right.
then later, you, Mr. Star Wars, you need to come over here too. They bought both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They own everything now. They own us.
Yo,
We don't even know it yet.
speaking of weird monopolies, did you guys see the thing about the judge ruling on Google about antitrust? Like that their search engine defies antitrust laws, and like it makes no sense. It makes zero sense. I digress. So what was
Well, I
2005?
heard about it, but I didn't read up on it. Why doesn't it
I
make
did.
sense? What do you?
Because it's a free service, and the
Right.
whole thing is like, well, it comes preloaded on your phone and your computers as the search engine, so therefore, but you can also change it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's also not true when it goes to like Apple products because it doesn't come on that, so it doesn't go on everything.
Right. So
You know,
anyway,
It's not preloaded on Macs,
but
or
it
anything.
opens up all kinds of, like the precedent has been set, is all I'm saying.
Right.
2000, what's another year, Graham?
2005.
Iron Man.
No, that
No.
was 2008.
God damn it! That's 2008, Art.
He's going to say Iron Man until he gets it right.
Until he gets to 2008.
Iron Man. Yes.
Were there
2005.
X-Men movies?
No,
Was there
that was a Star Wars year.
Yep.
Because every three,
Oh.
right? That was a Star 99, 2002, 2005. They come every 3 years. That was a Star Wars movie.
Well
Darth
done,
Maul.
Dan. Well done. Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, I almost said that.
It's poor-
Okay, this one's for Art. 2008.
Spider-Man.
God damn it! Kick him.
Howard the Duck.
No, it's the guy that's playing Doctor Doom, Iron Man, with Robert Downey Jr.
You're all
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, the Doctor Doom.
Oh, it's
movie.
not Iron.
No,
Damn
it's not.
I thought you
Son of
said
a bitch.
2000. Well, Andy said 2008.
2008.
It did. It just wasn't
Batman.
the number one.
Was
Yeah.
it Dark
Iron Man,
Knight?
not the number one movie.
Was it Dark Knight?
It was The Dark Knight.
Oh,
Nah.
yeah.
Because I'm thinking it like I'm going. I remember where I was. It was January of 2008. I was in Durango, Mexico, and my ex-wife called me because she was mad at me, but she also told me that Heath Ledger had died. So, and that was in January, which means 2008 was the
That was a good year for superhero films.
Okay, how about
Dan was like,
2012?
good news. Now let me get back to the donkey show, bitch. Click.
One like that. One like that.
No.
One like that.
Oh. Okay, so 2000 what?
12.
12? Avengers.
Ding, ding, ding.
I
You got it.
I got it. It was Avengers.
Yeah.
Stop
can tell you what
thinking, Aaron.
1959 was.
Yeah.
It was
Aaron's having a hard time comprehending that Andy got one.
$220 million budget, and it
So am I.
made $1,518 million.
That's a good return.
That's a good return,
Expensive investment though, but a good return.
and it beat
No
out
doubt,
The Dark
dude.
Knight Rises.
Well, that was.
And it should have.
Yeah,
Well, definitely the weakest of the three, for sure.
I thought that movie felt like a second, like a first or second draft. It felt like if there was one more draft of Dark Knight Rises, they could have figured it out.
yeah. There's too many plot holes.
There was too much stuff going on. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and there was also the interesting thing was I'm not sure what Nolan's message was about the police, because on one hand they were oppressing the people, but on the other hand they saved the people. You know what I mean? So I was like, what are you trying to say about this? There was some really unevenness in that film.
There was the 8 years later starts off like I want to see all that stuff. That's what I want to see. I want to see all the villains, the rogues gallery stuff, but they just skipped right over it. And then
The end of Batman, yeah.
then the police, stuff. There was, and then the Arkham stuff, that they just kind of glossed over, and it felt like that Ledger was supposed to be in that scene, but they never really transitioned. They didn't really make it into its own thing. It still felt like Heath Ledger needed to be there. I think they had, what did they have? They had Scarecrow in there instead of Heath Ledger.
Right.
In that Arkham scene, and it felt wrong. Yeah.
Mm.
I thought Anne Hathaway was good in that though. I liked how they did that.
Yeah.
I didn't like that third one at all.
Although Michelle Pfeiffer is unmatched in my mind as
Oh,
Catwoman.
yeah.
Now Julie Newmar is unmatched.
Oh, well, yeah, if you go that far back, sure.
Dude,
No, guys, Halle Berry.
No, Batman Returns would have been a great movie if they'd gotten rid of if they'd just been a Catwoman movie and they got rid of all the other crap that was in there.
Yeah.
Oh, the Penguin and stuff.
The Penguin, and then Shrek, the toy guy, Max Shrek, the toy guy. It was like,
oh yeah,
Catwoman. That was the good stuff in that movie. That romance.
They loaded it up. They always do that. They just put so much shit in it. It's like it doesn't need all this stuff.
Like they did that with that Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield. They throw everything in the kitchen sink after this stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you for the $2 super chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. What would have been great is if they had what's her name that was in the first Batman movie, the love interest. If they had
Kim Basinger,
the second movie,
Kim Basinger.
Yeah. Kim Basinger, because I thought Kim Basinger and Michelle Pfeiffer in a movie, like the love triangle thing. I thought that would have been.
Yeah, you're onto something there. Why didn't they bring back Kim Basinger?
Yeah.
Speaking of Kim Basinger, man, I haven't heard her name in forever. What the hell is she up to? Anything?
Yeah. I know she did she won an Academy Award for L.A. Story, then disappeared. We haven't
LA
seen
Confidential.
L.A. Confidential, yeah.
I gotta Google, see what the hell's going on with her. I have
LA Story is a good movie too, though. That's the what's his name?
Russell Crowe.
Steve Martin. Is that the L.A. Story? Is that the Steve Martin?
That's Steve Martin. Yeah.
Story.
Yeah, the L.A. Story is Steve Martin, right?
L.A. Story. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's 70 years old.
She was married
now.
to Alec Baldwin. Maybe
She's
that's enough
70
said.
years old now.
Yep. Well, she'll be 71.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Boy, she had a set of legs on her.
She was, Fine
She's a
looking woman.
grandmother, so.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Alec Baldwin yelling at the kid, at their daughter?
Oh,
calling her
when he's all
fat?
sloppy with eating the burger and yelling.
He's
Yeah, he
called
called her a
saying she's
pig.
fat.
Called her a pig or
No,
something.
wait, the
Yeah.
one where wait. You talking the video eating a burger? That was
That's
David
David
Hasselhoff.
Hasselhoff. I'm getting them
Yeah.
mixed up. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
David
it's
Hasselhoff was on the floor eating a burger.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
The
I get
Alec
those
Baldwin
mixed
is a recording, right? It was on the phone or something.
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
yeah.
He calls her a pig.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
daughter. What a douchebag.
Well, he got off though.
Yeah, he did.
Did he get off? I thought
No, didn't they find him innocent of manslaughter?
I think so. But
Oh, the
then
trial was dismissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dismissed.
Oh, it was?
But the armory person, I think, is still on the hook.
Well, now
yeah, well,
she's trying to
he's
get.
in jail for like 8 months or something.
Yeah,
should
but
be
she's
on
trying
the
to
hook.
get something, dismissed or whatever as well because of the reason that his was, which I can't remember what the reason was.
Well, if Baldwin would have got I think because they couldn't really get him as a producer, because I think they were trying to get him as a producer, so there was more liability, so that they could, have more fault and blame in his direction versus just an actor. So I think they ended up just taking the producer aspect out, right, and just tried him as an actor, and they couldn't make it stick because he was just handed a gun from the prop master and just.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was being irresponsible, but he certainly, I hate Alec Baldwin. I'm not defending him, but he was being irresponsible, but he had no way of knowing that there was live rounds.
Well,
He
okay,
tried.
But that's a single action pistol. It's a Colt single action pistol. So to fire it, you can pull the trigger all you want. It's not going to pull you have to pull the hammer back
Right.
to shoot a single action revolver.
Right, and then you have to pull the trigger. Though.
Then you have to pull the trigger.
And he's saying he never pulled the trigger. It's like, well, the hammer didn't move by itself, dude.
Right. And why was the hammer cocked if you weren't, you weren't filming?
Okay, this is the part, and I'm not an Alec Baldwin fan at all, and I really still think he should be accepting some responsibility because, if you have a pool party, right, and you have a bunch of people over and someone falls in and drowns in your pool, you're the responsible party, right? Like they died in your pool, and unless you have them sign a waiver or something, you did it, right?
You can get sued, right?
Right. Alec Baldwin, take away all of he was the guy who pulled the trigger. He was all that. He was the executive producer, and he hired those people, and that was his set.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like the chain of command.
Yeah, the buck.
Well, yeah, but he's not off the hook for a civil suit. He's just off the hook for a criminal prosecution.
Yeah.
But he can still get sued up to oblivion by her husband, which I
they'll
assume he's
they'll
going to
take
do.
money. I mean, even OJ lost the civil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
OJ was framed. I said it.
I said,
don't
Do you know
believe it.
do you know that they're coming out now? There's like this conspiracy theory now that it was actually OJ's son who did it.
yeah,
Did you see
I
that?
love conspiracies about that. Yeah.
Are you serious? I never heard
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, wait,
There
how
were
old was
also-
his
there
son
was
at the
all
time?
There's all kinds of drug connections.
Teenagers, I think.
See, I think it was Ron Goldman's drug dealer.
Yeah, there was a lot of drugs involved, and yeah. I think
Wait a minute, you don't think OJ did it? Fragga, you don't think OJ did it?
No, actually, I don't. I think that he would have good reason to have done it, but there was so many misnomers and mistakes and all this stuff that had happened during the investigation. But they've also said that Ron Goldman was a cokehead and had problems with paying. So why they didn't explore that? It's
Let me just throw
a
this
type
out,
of
Dan.
killing too, right?
Was it the
let me-
glove that got you, Dan? It didn't fit, so you had to quit.
Basically.
Let me just throw this out, Dan. OJ played for the Buffalo Bills here
Yes.
many years. And I know guys that were on the security detail and that were in Buffalo PD during those days.
Okay.
And when they heard about this murder, the first thing they said was, "He fucking did it."
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, because
Wow.
there was a lot of domestic violence calls at his place in Orchard Park that were
Wow.
buried back then, because
Really?
this is the team of the city, and the Buffalo News isn't going to report this stuff. And it was a different era back then too. You didn't air all that dirty laundry out like
Right.
they do today.
And
So they
look,
kept that
they
under.
finally got him, and it was violence. What was it? Memorabilia in Vegas. He
Yeah.
goes in there.
Armed. He had a gun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
maybe.
But
We
hey,
don't
Dan,
know, though.
Do
We
you
don't know.
remember the slow speed chase?
Yes, I remember exactly where I was.
I remember watching that.
We were looking at it from the window because the freeway drove right
Yes.
by us.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah, he was not the guy you used to see in Police Squad or
He's not
the
the
Naked
guy
Gun movies.
with selling me those sweet boots.
How about those Hertz rent-a-car videos?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, running through the airport.
Through the
Yeah,
airport,
that's right.
leaping over the chairs.
Yeah. It's weird when they said the race car. They were saying all that stuff. It's like I never thought of O.J. Simpson as black. Like he was just O.J. Simpson. It's like Michael Jackson. They transcend everything, right? They're just Michael Jackson's Michael Jackson. O.J. Simpson was O.J. Simpson. And I thought that was weird when they started playing all the race card. When they play the race card with those guys, and I'm like, no, you guys are your own thing. You guys are beyond this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Well,
still
guys-
got my O.J. Simpson rookie card though. So
Yeah.
Do you really?
Do you really?
yeah,
Bloody
Yeah.
good.
What's
What's
it
that?
worth? Any idea?
I said
I have
bloody
no
good.
idea. I wanted to when the trial was going on, everybody's standing in line getting stuff signed by OJ. Like the trial, I thought about driving over to the courthouse and give me sign my.
You know what? What's crazy is I have a Kato Caitlin autograph because he was signing. He was doing comic conventions and he did a show in Toronto right after that. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Kato Caitlin," and like he was just signing shit.
He was the Colin Kaepernick before Colin Kaepernick.
Kato Kalin.
Wow.
Oh my God. That whole cast of characters. Remember Judge Ito? And every
Yes.
time
Oh,
the trial would start the next day, his clocks would multiply. And by the end of the trial, you couldn't even see his little head because there were all these fucking clocks on his. It was like, what a joke.
It was a zoo. Yeah,
It was, man. That was must-see TV, though.
It really was.
Your O.J. Simpson rookie card, depending on the condition, they're asking between $300,000 and $10,000, depending on the condition of the card. So
it's probably in kind of middle. Last time I saw it was.
Is it in slap a jap condition? Because then you're more towards the 300s. But if you go to the website, you can get it for like $2.
Okay.
And Art, you can get those. You can get trading cards slabbed and graded. So just
That's
saying.
true.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You can get
yeah.
everything
I know.
slabbed and graded now.
send that
Yeah.
into CGC,
A
baby.
buddy of mine sells slabbed and graded VHS tapes.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
dude. They're slabbed and graded video games, VHS tapes, cassette tapes.
Sneakers.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're slabbed
Yeah.
and graded sneakers.
That's right. That's right.
I got a
Wow.
pair of Anthony Hardaways in my closet. They're supposed to be worth some bucks.
I have some T-Max, some
So
2000.
what do they do,
14
Andy? Do
Max.
they take the air out of like the case or something? Like they put the
No.
movie in there, and then they just
Well, no, it's boxed. It's in the box as well.
Right.
The VHS tape is in the the box it came with, and they grade it. And
Usually it's
No, I
cellophane,
mean,
still shrink wrap.
I
like
don't know how
the
they.
good ones.
I've seen it on his back wall and stuff because he takes them to shows. But
That's so gross. That's so gross.
It's so wrong, but I had to show it.
The thing about videotapes is, though, they degrade whether or
That's
not
what I
they're
was
boxed
saying.
up or not. So it's like, how in the world can you
Well, I
grade a
thought if
video?
you could take the oxygen out, like of the case or whatever, that it would.
I'm
prolong-
assuming they're
Maybe.
okay. So
Nobody's gonna
I'd have
watch
to
it.
ask him because I think it's ridiculous. So I've never
don't.
really talked to him
I
about it.
don't. I don't.
I laugh at him, but
No,
I'm assuming they might be grading the actual box.
Yes.
no, they're
I mean,
grading.
probably the tape as well, but I don't think they're like
Not the
playing it
quality
going,
of
"Oh
the
my
tape.
god, this thing looks
Dude,
like it came right
you
off
won't
the
even
shelf."
you won't even get close to a 9 if it's been the cellophane's been opened. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
Right.
okay. So it has to
Yeah.
be original packaging.
it's in its packaging, like, you know, the way
And that's
it came
like
out.
fairly
It's never been watched, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah,
can.
and
Yeah.
I'm not against it, and the reason I'm not is
Well, I'm
because
not against it. I
we're
just would
living
never
in a
buy it.
world where everything is digitized, and
Right.
physical media is becoming more and more rare.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
you know, it's kind of like in going back to Waterworld. You know, they were like fucking dirt. Oh my god, dirt. You know, or paper. Like the idea of a piece of paper. Oh my god. You know, it's rarity. Movies now, people barely even buy them. When's the last time you bought a physical Blu-ray or a physical anything?
But that's the thing, you should, because what happens if like Voodoo sends out an email going, guys, little problem. Yeah, we lost all our servers, so everything you guys owned. Oopsie.
Exactly.
Well, then they can give me my money back.
Yeah.
Well, I bet if
But
you
the
read the
thing
fine
is,
print, it
then,
says if we have a oopsie, you're screwed.
Yeah, probably.
But what Dan's saying is true, but you got to make sure you have a pristine player as well. Otherwise, you're still screwed. You know what I mean? Because I got some great like movies and tapes and things like that. I just don't have a player for them.
You can buy them at Walmart.
Yeah.
They still sell this. They still sell VHS. They sell VHS DVD combos.
Yeah.
You know, I fell in love with my wife for many reasons, but when we were going through, you know, like our movies, like what are you going to watch when you're first dating? She had the whole like seasons of A-Team. Like
That's a keeper.
She loved the
That is a keeper. I love when a plan comes together. She's like,
she had them all recorded.
Yeah.
Wow.
I collect laser discs just because I want to be
Wow.
Are
unusual.
you serious?
No.
Are you really?
No, one of the
Oh.
best transfers of Star Wars is Laserdisc.
They were so worthless. I gave all mine away.
Used them to play frisbee with your dog, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once again, it's another thing. I bet laser discs aren't worthless anymore, depending on which ones they
Yeah,
are.
because of how many people tossed them out.
Well, you know what they did though was cool was like they would print like art on them. Like if you got the Nightmare Before Christmas laser disc, you would have art from the movie on there and things like that were kind of cool. But I never owned one because they were too expensive when they first came out, and then they went away before they even got cheap. You know.
You remember Suncoast at the mall? They had the laser discs in there.
We used to go there and buy VHS videos all the time.
If Suncoast was around, they'd be a Funko Pop seller now.
Yeah. Pop culture stuff, yeah.
One slick dude has the original cut of Star Wars on VHS. The one Lucas
That's cool.
destroyed. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I've got like Commando on VHS. I've got Road
Commando.
Warrior on VHS. I've got a ton of them down there.
Those are good, man. Those are good. It's the unopened, you know, those cassette tapes, video games.
8-track.
I don't have any VHS.
Yeah.
You know, even in the day, I thought 8-track was like not cool. You know what I mean?
No,
like
really?
if you're listening to it, and then right in the middle of the song, and then it'll go, and it won't even continue the song. Sometimes it'll go to another track. Like those things were cool.
Yeah, you couldn't pick your song. You had to listen to the whole stinking thing. You know.
Yeah.
Well, you had to know when you were on track one, where that favorite song of yours was when it's paired up, because it would send it to the same section in the next tracks. So like when you're trying to listen to Hotel California, and you know that when they're playing Lion Eyes, you hit it and boom, then it goes over there. But you had to wait for it. You know?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, but think about cassette tapes were the same way. You couldn't.
No, you could fast forward them though.
You have to fast.
Oh, you couldn't fast forward. I never had an 8-track, so you couldn't even fast forward it.
You had to just click the track number.
They were tracks, and so there would be multiple songs on
one.
a track. So when you could click like from track 1 to track 3 or whatever, but you never really knew where, like what song it was going to be on or any of that kind of
And you
stuff.
got that
Hey,
audio
Dan.
bleed through.
Hey, Dan.
Remember that audio
Yeah.
bleed
Grandparents are teaching us something.
I know,
today.
dude. It's great.
And we used to have phones that you picked up and they had a receiver.
Little
Oh
things.
no,
they
I
were
had that.
Yeah, no, I
and
remember
party lines.
the thing I remember. Yeah,
Oh, party lines.
popcorn, calling to see what time it was.
Yeah.
But the 8-track, I remember this guy John Marino. He had one in his car, and I was fascinated by them that they could put a whole album on this thing. You know.
Hey, I remember when my friend, he goes, "You got to check this out." So he installed a CD player in his Mustang, and we just sat in that thing and listened to pristine music. I mean, for hours. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Smoking fatties and listening
Smoking
to
fatties, going to
rock.
In-N-Out Burger, and just, yeah. it was
Seriously
great.
though, I remember when my buddy bought one of the first DVD players. This was mid 90s. He was living out and he was doing storyboards for Sony out in LA. And I'm like, oh my God, what that cost? And it was over $2,000. And I was like,
Oh, they
oh,
were so expensive back
Oh,
in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
we
it's
paid
like $45
$1,200 for. We paid 12. I think my dad paid $1,200 or $800 or something like that for a first VHS player.
They weren't
Yeah.
cheap back in the day. I remember when it was the Betamax and
Betamax,
VHS
yeah.
Oh,
were-
yeah.
and
I remember
and
that.
when-
Yeah.
I remember my friend's birthday. We not only rented movies, but we had to rent the player too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because
Mhm.
most people didn't have a player, so you would rent the player and you would rent the tapes. And yeah, we watched Chud and Making of Thriller.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller.
Yes, yes. I'm
Chud.
so glad that you know this.
Told me this, Dan. You might know. Was Beta the superior product,
It
though?
was a
Yes.
superior product.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it
it didn't
was.
catch on.
Yeah, and a lot of times that's what happens is, well, bigger's better or whatever, but Beta was a superior product. I still have stuff on Beta. Unfortunately, it's 70s pornography, but I still have it.
But it's still in good
Man,
shape.
it's
Unfortunately, he says,
Dark.
Yeah.
you have a beta player though.
I
Let me-
do.
Let me bring this let's bring this back to movies. There was a company called Todd AO, and they produced the best film cameras by far, but they did not rent their cameras out. They sold them. And so every studio bought the cameras and then they had them and they went out of business, where Panavision and these other companies would only rent their movie cameras to studios, not sell them to
Yeah.
them. So
Yeah, Technicolor too.
yeah.
Yeah,
But then
and,
there was that-
then you'd have to hire a Technicolor expert to come on set.
Yeah.
To
Those
balance
cameras
the
were
color.
massive.
Yeah.
They were freaking massive.
What was the name of
super
the
loud and hot
name
because
of
the
the
light you had
camera?
to have on them.
Was it called
Oh, yeah.
Barbizon? Was it Barbizon?
That was a modeling
Cool.
company.
That was a modeling thing. There's
Yeah.
something that sounds like Barbizon that was like a camera. I got my viewfinder from that place.
Attack
but
of
I
the
can't remember.
Femizons, is that what you're thinking of, or no?
That sounds awesome. I want to see that.
John Romita's Femizons from Savage Tales #1.
Yeah.
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 Wasn't that reprinted in the Women of Marvel, whatever,
Oh,
kinda
it
like
might-
the Origins
wait a
of
minute. There was some nudity in that. They would have had to.
Oh, that
You're
was in
talking
black
about
and white,
this?
right?
You're talking about this?
Check. See if it's in that. I've got it.
It's not
just
in the
back there.
original one, I don't think.
Yeah, the original. The one in
Not the original
Savage
publication
Tales had
of
nudity
the
in
order.
it. Because I remember getting that magazine, going, "Yeah." As a little kid,
Wow, I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
seen the original then. I don't think I've seen John Romita Sr. draw nudity, so
Fury and Future World, the
He was-
Femizons.
It is in there.
yeah, but
That's
there's no
it.
nudity, I think.
They had to. They probably put like. There's a scene where she's like,
She's
getting along with
topless,
the
right?
dude. Yeah, she's topless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question. How many issues did it run for?
It was just that one
Maybe-
story.
Oh.
Well,
So
it
yeah, they
says-
probably did
It
paste it up.
says the beginning.
Yeah, but there never was another one that I'm aware of.
Oh,
False advertising.
Mm.
I'll have to look. Yeah, they did
Well,
paste
not
up then.
necessarily.
I never
we can,
knew.
We can make a
the original.
Femizons, and we can just start with the continuation. You know
That's
what
right.
I'm
We
saying?
pick up where
That's right.
John Romita left off. Yep.
The bros do the Femizons
Movies for
in
everyone.
tribute to John Romita.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I've got
Blockbusters.
I've got, speaking of cameras and stuff, I've got a minor collection of movie cameras and stuff. I have a nice Bolex,
What?
and I have a 16 millimeter projector
That's
too,
so cool.
but it's silent because it's from like, it was like when people were using 16 millimeter movies to shoot home movies.
Yes.
So I got this thing with this big reel on it. It's got a big old case. It's
No
really cool.
way.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing about that is it's so expensive to do anything with that nowadays. Like,
Oh, yeah,
go and
developing
find
film.
some 16 mil and go shoot something and then get it developed. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, where would you even get it developed anymore?
you would have
photo
to, you
mats
probably
all
have to do your own. You probably have to make your own lab. I mean, you have to go full on hardcore on
Yeah,
it.
because I don't know. Can you still mail that stuff into Kodak? Because they used to be able to mail it into them and they would develop it. But I
No
don't know if
Kodak
they still do.
exists anymore. It's
Oh, do
Kodak.
they? I don't even know. That's a good question.
You can imagine some kid at Kodak opening this package going, the fuck is this?
It's huge.
What the fuck is this? What is, anybody knows what this shit is?
Right in the daylight, just ripping it off.
Yeah, Kodak's still around.
What do they make?
They make cameras, printers, and scanners,
Yeah, optical stuff.
and they make digital cameras too.
Yeah, it's all optical, but they don't fuck with film anymore, right?
You know, like most people don't know, Paul McCartney's first wife was
Linda.
Eastman.
Yeah.
Eastman Kodak.
Yep.
She was rich.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
That's how you know you can trust your wife if you're a rich star, is that she's richer than you are.
That's true.
Better off than you are. Yeah.
That's way true. Now, how can she trust you, though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Especially
he's
philandering.
Paul McCartney. So
Philandering about. And
No.
is it really Paul or is it Fall? You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother
Paul.
show.
The faux
Mhm.
Paul.
That's
That's
a
a whole
whole
nother
other
show.
conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're
By
gonna
the
wrap
way,
her up
guys,
here.
we cannot do the Femizons. Stan Lee regained his rights to the Femizons, and this is dated June 2023. So apparently his company did.
Oh,
'Cause
Pow.
Stan wasn't around then.
Hmm.
But
Pow.
yeah.
How
Oh
did
wow,
he
because
do
everybody was
right,
knocking
Pat?
on their door to get that property.
You never know. It
That's
could
right.
be a huge hit if treated right.
Yeah.
know?
Oh, absolutely. You could say
Huh?
that for just about anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, also, if you bought the rights to it, you could say, Stan Lee and Johnny Romita.
Mm-hmm.
Femizon.
Stan Lee's and Johnny Romita's Femizons.
Femizons,
No,
yeah.
no, it'll be Stan Lee's and John Romita's. Amazon's is pretty much how
Right.
Stan Lee presents Stan Lee's and
Stan Lee presents a Stan Lee production of Stan Lee's Femizons.
yeah,
Femizons.
with a special aside to John Romita Jr.
That's right.
Romita.
He helped out a
Oh
little.
my God.
The special
But give
guest
him
star-
a nickname like Jazzy, and
Yeah,
then it'll be
yeah.
cool.
yeah,
Ring a
Jack-
ding. How about ring a ding?
I like Ring It.
That's right.
Oh, cheese and crackers. I believe that was last week.
God.
All right, guys, we're just about at the 2-hour mark. We're gonna call it a night here. That was a lot of fun talking about these cool blockbuster movies and going down memory lane.
And 100
And,
other topics.
What's that?
And
Oh
100
yeah,
other
yeah.
topics.
We're always doing that kind of stuff, which is what makes the bros the bros.
That's right.
Aaron, you have the show next week.
Ooh.
I think I have some time now that Kit Carter's almost at the printers. I might do a trivia show.
Yeah.
Ooh, trivia show.
Yeah, and make it for everyone though, not just the old guys. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I always dumb down questions for you, Fraggy.
I know, and I appreciate that.
Oh,
I got to put music questions in for Art and then dumb questions for you
And girl questions for Billy.
and for Billy, right? So,
that's right.
so he can say, "Will you look at that?"
Will you look at
Well, history. Billy is like a history crazy lunatic.
Yep.
That dude knows so much.
Well, he also studies because he doesn't like to lose, even though he says it's just a game.
It's just a
Yeah,
game.
that's to
That's
put
right.
us on our heels. Oh, it's just a
Hey,
game,
and you know
guys.
what? I heard he's studying now, and that's why he missed the show.
Yeah,
He's getting a leg up.
car
right.
accident, fender bender my ass.
That's right.
Some people just don't like to lose.
That's right.
That is true. That is true. You guys want to give a quick rundown of what you got running right now, campaign wise?
Yes.
Sure.
Sure. Hold on. I'll just share the screen real
Come on,
fast.
Andy, be prepared. Jeez.
Shut your hole, pal. I am prepared.
Shut your hole.
Shut your hole. Core Drat the Awakening. Guys, if you missed it on my channel today, I did a live stream that was 4 hours and 48 minutes long. I inked page 26 from beginning to end. So you can go to my channel and watch it.
Watch that.
There's some
I wanna see
podcasts
that.
playing in the background. And then once those are over, I switched over to Metallica. So you can, no
Good man.
time lapse, straight through inking from start to finish of
You
a
got
page
4
of
hours.
photograph.
You could always run it. What is the fastest YouTube can run a thing? Is it like 2.5 or 4 speed?
2. No, I think it's just
Yeah.
2. So you'd knock it down to 2 hours and change.
So we get Chipmunk
So
Andy.
yeah, so Chordrat the Awakening, of course, is in demand, still rocking and rolling. We are 686 backers, 4 away from 700, and less than 300 away from the first stretch goal, guys. Let's get there.
Heck yeah.
LFG, if you will. Lots of great stuff. Got the Adriana t-shirt, 64-page graphic novel. Chordrat and Adriana are back to fight for Vordoom the Undying to gain control of the Shattered Reach. So, guys, go check it out. I'm going to go with the link is in the description below as I look up at Graham. Is it?
The link is in the chat right here. Yeah.
Nice. So there you go, guys. Go check it out. Lots of great stuff. Bunch of different covers to choose from. We've got a collector's box. You can get all the Awakening stuff in one box at a nice discounted price. Add-ons, a Chordrat minifigure, black and white version of the book, doing another game module. And there you go. So check it out, if you will. Thank you very much.
It's a great looking book, Andy. I mean,
Yeah.
it feels like there's certain subject matter that artists do really well. Like, Aaron does, like sci-fi, like hot chicks, and that Chordrat, that sword and sorcery stuff is right up your alley, man.
Well, Andy wanted to do
appreciate
gay comics, but he didn't think there was enough market, so he decided to go this
Well,
way.
sometimes
it is
we
up his alley.
Yeah, right up his alley. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was going to, and then I asked Aaron for the pictures from his college days, but he didn't keep any. And I was like, well, there goes my reference. Thanks a lot, Aaron.
Touche.
You did reach out to the pole vault guy, though, right?
Yeah. Oh, that was so funny. The
Well,
French
my
guy.
God.
He's
That
next.
guy
He's
is gonna
next.
be a
I saw the
superstar.
video of that finally, and I was like, oh, that's awful.
Not good.
Yeah, but
Dicks
he's
are
hit
digging
with
him
the
now.
ladies now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
you
know,
didn't
his
win
phone
it.
was
You won
ringing.
no medal, win home, but bro, you got one life.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna
world.
forget about that medal in about 2 weeks, but they're not gonna
Yeah.
forget about that penis.
The whole world saw that.
Good on you, Aaron.
I've got a screen for you to share there real quick, Graham, if you don't mind.
There you go.
Kit Carter Planet Doom graphic novel. We're going to be closing out. I might do it on my Sunday show, but very, very soon because it's going to the printers very, very shortly. So get in there and back it if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much for your support. It is shadow banned, of course, so you'll have to go to my website, aaronlopresti.com. There's a link there, or you can go to kitcarterplanetdoom.com and you'll find a link there. Also, which is not shadow banned, and we'll see if it stays that way. Wraith of God 3 early sign up is now on Indiegogo. You type in Wraith of God 3, it'll come up. How about that?
Beautiful.
So sign up, get a free trading card, an exclusive trading card for early sign up, and hopefully be launching at the end of this month. So we shall see. But there you go. Thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Aaron. Art or no, Dan. You're next.
Yeah, give me a moment. I gotta sign in. My Indiegogo signed me out.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go to Art and we'll come back to you.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay. You can share. Yeah, this is Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. It's a live campaign. If you guys like, I'm going to play this video.
Yeah.
Art T-Bear's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too is a 60-page, 9x12 hardbound book that will be printed on thick glossy stock paper and is a compilation of artwork from award-winning artist Art T-Bear. This book is filled with images that come from Art's Marvel, DC, Image, and Comicsgate work. That includes convention doodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs, and pop culture subjects that Art has brought to life with his masterful draftsmanship. Art T-Bear's signature style is both lyrical and meticulously realized. The mastery of craft, seen in his work, owes itself to his 40 years in the comic industry, as well as viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. Fans of art prints have the opportunity to back one or both of the mini print tiers. Both are stunning collections of work that you can back individually or together as a bundle. Art T-Bears oodles of doodles and other stuff too. Back it now on Indiegogo.
Yeah, you guys, thank
Yeah.
you so much for backing this, supporting this. We still got almost a month. We got 24 days left. We are at 12,160. We got 84 backers. So thanks to everybody that has supported this and backed it. And if you haven't backed it, what are you waiting for? The link is in the description. So click on that, go over and pick yourself up a copy of Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. You won't regret it. It's a beautiful book, man. It really is.
I like Wizard Sleeves, the Bad Rock icon. Good old Kiko and Rob.
What's that?
Yeah, hit up Wizard Sleeves thing again. It says, "I'll hit up your book." See, that's Bad Rock. That's with Kiko Taganashi colors.
Ah.
That's cool.
What? What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's speaking another language.
What?
Damn it. Damn,
Rob
stop
Liefeld's Bad
smoking
Rock
up.
from Youngblood, colored by Kiko Taganashi,
Yeah.
is Wizard Sleeves' icon, his avatar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Looks like it to me.
I feel like I was taking crazy pills. I'm like, what? Like when I
Wait,
took
contact his wife. He's having a stroke on camera.
Here we are, Black Flag. I am working away on this. I am so happy to have my hand back. I just got done doing a Kit Carter piece for Aaron.
It'll be in the hardcover only.
Which
It's only
is
in the hardcover.
Which is as Andy said, you got your lines back. I got my lines back. So
Yeah.
I'm working away. I'm working on a sequence right now. No spoilers, but they're back at the headquarters wondering why one of the kids is in coma. And I'm drawing probably the most tech-heavy pages I've ever drawn right after that, because we're getting into giant robot territory.
Nice.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
Nice.
Yeah,
And I've seen some of the pages you've done already, so that's impressive.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So Black Flag Pineapple Perception, if you haven't backed it, go ahead and back it. Working away on it. And thank you for everybody who's been so damn patient. It's campaign closed 4 years ago. 4 years ago. What the heck? But a lot of ups and downs, but thank the Lord above that I'm on the up now, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's awesome. Can't wait to see it. And that piece that he referenced about that he did for Aaron's book, he shared it with the bros, and man, it looks killer. And did you do the colors too, Dan?
I colored it too.
Oh, the coloring. I love the coloring.
You have made my day, sir. You have made my day.
Dude, I told him that background was
great.
awesome. I mean, I liked all the colors, but I really liked the background effect and stuff.
But look, I have to say
That was
this.
for him. That was for him.
Dan likes to be the guy that everybody pays attention to. Look at me.
Look at me.
The book, of course, is 8.5 by 11, but he drew a horizontal. So I have to flip his art like this. So you'll have to turn the book to look at it. It's the only one in the gallery that has to be flipped to look at. So
yes.
I'll make mine a 2-page spread. Then you have to flip the book.
Aaron, you know what's funny is you caught that.
If I may say one more thing, Graham, is that it was supposed to be an 8-page gallery, right? In the hardcover. It's a tipped in gallery. It's not in the soft cover. And it was supposed to be 8 pages, but I had invitations out. I was waiting for Fraga and I was waiting for Kelsey. And I said, both of these guys are not going to come through, but one of them probably will. Both of them came through. So now it's a 10-page gallery instead of an 8-page gallery. So
that's awesome.
More bang for your buck.
Yes.
Yep, there you go.
Hey, I'm in good company with Kelsey, man. That guy's so talented.
Kelsey's great.
He's got a fun piece, very funny piece.
Yep. So good.
All right, so we got Joe Frankenstein 3, The Eye of Ra, written by me and Chuck Dixon and illustrated by Anthony Gonzalez Clark. It's 1927, and Joe's great-great-great-grandfather, Frederick Frankenstein, along with Mr. Lazarus, the Frankenstein monster, are in search of the powerful Eye of Ra, a staff that was used to vanquish a vampire infestation by the ancient Egyptians. History is doomed to repeat itself if they can't find it in time. But is the price too high if it means reviving the evil Lord Golgotha? High adventure, action, vampires, mummies, and ancient mysteries await when you read the Joe Frankenstein 3, The Eye of Ra. So this is the third in our Joe Frankenstein series. The first 2 books are available in this campaign, so you can get all 3 together with either my covers or Anthony's covers. And there's a whole bunch of other different perk levels you can check out: shirts, goodies, what are they called? Challenge coins, coasters, CGC books. You can even get a commission from Anthony if you're so inclined. So check it out. The link is in the chat. You could also go to compasscomics.com and find all the Compass Comics books that have been published at that point. And there's a link to Joe Frankenstein there as well. Then on another note, I just want to say that, the Escape from Monster, the Return to Monster Island and Monster Island campaign, which closed a couple months ago, was supposed to fulfill in September, but the books are being shipped Thursday. I will have the books Thursday. So we are going to begin fulfillment almost a month early than promised. So we're ahead of the game. So next week we should have everything together. I'm just waiting for some of the stretch goal stuff that's getting printed locally to come in, but the books will be here. So we should be ready to begin shipping next week at some point, way ahead of schedule. So you guys are going to get those books in your hands early. So everybody that has, backed these projects, backed all the Compass Comics projects, I just want to thank you guys because can't do it without you. And if you haven't checked out any of those, again, go to compasscomics.com and you can find them all there.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
My bros, thank you so much.
You got it.
Wonderful.
Thank
wonderful
you, Graham. This is a good time.
I always learn so
a lot of
much
fun together.
Best ensemble show on the interwebs right here, folks.
That is
On
true.
the interwebs. Oh, man.
Ooh,
So
what's Dan
next
showing?
week, it is going to be game night at Aaron's channel. So tune in for that. And until then, my friends, check Aaron and I out tomorrow for the landing party. We're going to be talking about
the
Arena
Gorn.
and the Gorn.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. And Anna and Ron will probably be joining us as well. So
you
until
go.
next week, have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye, everybody. Good night.